Hey, 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 everyone. Welcome back to the candy shop, my lovely little candy canes. I know it's been a minute. I took a break. My niece was here. It was the long weekend for the 4th of July, but we are back and we are going to get into it and just start talking about the mess. So as you guys come in, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Be sure to comment in the comment box where you're tuning in from and how you want to get started. We can talk about Wendy Williams, kind of watching her public demise. We can also talk about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills with some casting news. Is someone already being fired and replaced? Where does Denise Richards stand with everything? We can also talk about the Ready to Love reunion. What was said, what wasn't said. Was it good? Was it poppin'? Was it not? Then we can also talk about some Real Housewives of Atlanta. That is right. Is Sheree back? Do we want her back? Who's in and who's out? What is Cynthia's fate on the show? And then, anything else that's going on in pop culture or reality TV that you guys want to talk about, we can just get into it. So as you guys come in, be sure to like and subscribe and also post in the comment box where you want to get started, what you guys want to talk about. How was your 4th of July weekend? I miss you all so much. Hey, Jay goes at Candy Washington Bellissima. Hey, hey, hey. Thank you for joining us, Jay. Let me know how was the long weekend, what you guys want to get into. Let's get it popping. XOXO says hi. Hi back. Yes, I miss my candy canes. I miss you guys so much. Hey, everyone. Hey, April Powell. She goes, hello, Candy from Memphis tuning in. Yes, well, welcome from Memphis. So happy to have you. Yes. Hey, Kamiko. Hey, Beauty. She goes, hey, Candy of the Candy Canes. Hey. That's right. So as you guys come in, Jamie says, get the likes up. That is right. Let's get our likes up to get more people in the room. It helps with algorithm and just to get everything popping. All right, so let's see where you guys want to start. Do you want to start with Wendy? Do you want to start with the Real Housewives? Do you want to do Beverly Hills, Ready to Love, RHOA? Put it in the chat box where you guys want to get started. Hey, Darren Hood, he says, hey, happy Monday. Yes, happy Monday to you. We are back in the candy shop. Long weekend is over, and now it's time to get back to our grind. I need to catch up on Shaw's of Sunset, and then I also need to catch up on Married to Medicine, so we can get into that next tomorrow after I'm catched up and we can chat all about that stuff. But for now, let's get it kicked off with let's talk about some Wendy Williams, right? She's kind of unraveling right in front of our eyes. You know, it's really kind of hard to watch. She goes off on hey P. P says, hey, Candy and the Candy Canes. Yes, hey. That's right. So Wendy Williams is kind of unraveling right in front of our eyes and in front of our faces. So what was being talked about for the last couple of days was her really going for Tabitha Brown's neck. So, I mean, to be completely transparent, I had never heard of Tabitha Brown. I didn't know who she was, but now I know about her, and I'm Team Tabitha when it comes to this. Hey, Kamiko, she goes, Wendy needs to retire. Yeah, I think she either needs to retire or take a very, very long hiatus and get her mental health in check and in order. So she was going after Tabitha Brown, who I guess is like a vegan chef, influencer, and now she has this book coming out about her, vegan recipes, and she's on the come up. She's doing things. She's also an actress. I guess she's been in stuff. So she came out and said, hey, my career is popping now. I'm in a place where I can support me and my husband. So my husband can now retire from LAPD. He took that job to support me and the family, while I was doing my stuff. So now I can return the favor, have him retire or whatever. And, we'll go on and live happily ever after. And to me, that sounded really great. He could now help her with her business or whatever. And also being a police officer is a very dangerous job. Like, you're worried about, is my husband going to come home tonight? Like, what's going on? It's a very dangerous job to have and to be in. So I totally get it. Wanting your husband to retire, you're moving along in your career. And so then Wendy kind of snapped back at her and was just like, oh, that's not going to work. Like, let's talk about your marriage. the demise of your marriage in like a couple of months or a couple of years. And I just, what if you invest the money and you lose it? Like, oh yeah, I was married to one of those, blah, 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 blah. Like, she really, hey, P says, is she unraveling? Yes, I think she is unraveling. We'll get through the Tabitha stuff, and then we'll talk about the other ways she's been unraveling literally in front of our faces. Okay. So Wendy basically is just throwing all this shade, basically being like, your marriage is over now. This is such a bad move. It happened to me, yada, 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 yada. Tabitha clapped back with some like classic clap back, like, I'll pray love finds you, or something like that. To me, I was just like, you didn't even need to clap back, but whatever, Tabitha. It just really seemed like, with the Tabitha situation and then other situations, Wendy is just projecting so much of her life and her wounding and things that have happened to her onto other people, where it just becomes increasingly uncomfortable. She's been snapping at Norman. She's been snapping at Suzanne. And I mean like nasty snaps, just like popping off. Another huge red flag was when Wendy was, she still talks to her mother who has passed away, but she like literally on national television, she's like, oh, mommy says this. And then she'll say like what her mother is saying to her in her head and like all this stuff. And it's kind of uncomfortable to watch. Like, I know a part of the grieving process is, you can still talk to your family members, a loved one who has passed. Sometimes you can just, talk to them or whatever, but it's usually like on your own time. And it's usually not in front of the cameras. And it's usually not in a way where you seem to be having a public delusion of seeing them and actually thinking that you're talking to them. And it's really, 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 really uncomfortable to watch her. Wendy also made those comments about Bill Cosby being like, oh, Bill Cosby will be able to work before Andy Dick does. And it's just like so tone deaf and like know your audience. It was just a hot mess. And then her stance on Bill Cosby anyway, like, oh, he's too old. He needs to be let out. No, he's not too old. He needs to go back to jail. And what happened was a gross miscarriage of justice. But let me see what you guys are saying in the comment section. Hey, P, you said Tabitha made... Okay, so EXO, we'll get back to you, P, I promise. So EXO says, I felt her comments on this person's marriage was unnecessary and inappropriate. I agree 100%. It was completely unnecessary. Nobody asked you, Wendy, and it was inappropriate. And not to give any credence to Jocelyn, because like Jocelyn to me was like not the messenger for this and kind of missed me because she's done her own really very grimy, weird stuff. But why are you again trying to attack another Black woman who's literally just saying like, I've been grinding at my job and my career. I'm finally in the place where I'm like seeing some growth. I can now, help my husband who has helped me so much. Like, why would you want to attack that? And why would you want to speak ill onto that? Why would you want to speak the demise of a healthy marriage? It just, to me, just seems super, super jealous. And just very, very mean-spirited. It wasn't what she needed to do. Hey, P goes, Tabitha made a public announcement on her huge platform that she was retiring her husband before he collects his 20-year pension. Don't say things on social media if you don't want people to have an opinion. Okay, P, you know what? That is also a very valid perspective as well. If Tabitha is this public figure, right, and she did make a public announcement, then turnabout is fair play. Wendy Williams is allowed to have an opinion on it. She posted it on social media. She made it public. Tabitha is an actor and she also does influence. So that's a very fair point too. That's a very fair point. But I also think that Tabitha, I don't think she necessarily needed to respond, but she had the right to respond as well. So if you do put something out there and somebody claps back at you, you of course have the right to respond and clap back. I just think it goes beyond really, like to me, it's not really so much about Tabitha. Like it could have literally been anybody. To me, it's more about watching Wendy Williams' mental health unravel, because Wendy does that to anyone about anyone when she feels threatened by them. So to me, Tabitha was kind of just like collateral damage. It really could have been anybody who said something. So to me, the story really isn't so much about Tabitha. It's really more about the declining mental health of Wendy Williams. Hey, beautiful Ageless Bloom. She goes, hey, I follow Tab and her family. Love her. Yeah, so I'm going to start seeing who this Tabitha person is. I hadn't heard of her. So Wendy actually put her on to more people because I had no idea who Tabitha Brown was, but now we're all talking about her. Hey, the Vegas girl. Wendy has no business giving marriage advice. This is very true. And like, you also have no business giving advice from the place of your wounding rather than from the place of your healing. Because to me, you can tell Wendy is still very wounded and very bothered and not healed from the infidelities in her marriage, her husband being allegedly physically abusive, allegedly emotional and mentally abusive. Again, all of this is alleged, for entertainment, opinion-based. So all of those things, it seems to me like she hasn't, and she says she's in therapy, but I think sometimes therapy can take time. And to me, she hasn't healed from it. So her going off on people and having these rants and everything is so clear from her wounded space that she has no advice and no business giving advice. Because I think sometimes people can go through a failed marriage, infidelity, losing something, career loss, whatever it is. But when they've worked through that trauma, then they can come from a place of wisdom to give guidance and advice. Like, this is what happened to me as a cautionary tale. I don't want this to happen to you. Let me give you the insights. I would have done X, Y, and Z differently. Ooh. Sorry, guys. I would have done X, Y, and Z differently. So to me, that's coming from a place of, let me share my experience with you, impart some wisdom with you, and hopefully you don't make the same mistakes I did. Rather, when it comes to Wendy Williams, she just wants to tear people down and talk backwards and all crazy to them. And saying, hey, Pete, nope, being a cop is not in the top 10 dangerous jobs. We use this argument and stats to yell, defund, except when it's someone we like. Okay, well, I still think that being a police officer is a dangerous job. I think anytime where your job requires you to carry a gun, where your job requires you to go into contentious places where there is violence or there are arguments or things are going, or there's just any of that stuff, drug use, whatever. I still think that being a cop is a dangerous job. Maybe it's not the top 10, but it's more dangerous than being a dentist. It's more dangerous than being a post office carrier. I think it's more dangerous than being a doctor or something like that. So I think overall it's kind of a dangerous job being a police officer. But I think defunding the police, the word defund actually is very misleading because it doesn't mean take money away from the police. What it means is really to shift what the police do and how they do it, getting more community involved, getting more mental health people involved, having police not respond to all of these incidences, like maybe more it's like a social worker that can respond to it, or having someone on the site that is able to de-escalate the situation so that police aren't responding to things in like this hyper way. And I hope I'm explaining that correctly, because defund the police doesn't actually mean take money away from them. It means restructuring what the police do in our community. It's also having more police and community liaisons. So we don't look at the police as the enemy, but we look at the police as someone who is there to help us and creating those types of relationships. So I don't really want to get too much into that, but I still stand by, I think being a police officer is a dangerous job. And if she is able to retire her husband, then like, why shouldn't she, right? Hey, Domino. I heard that she is back on the D word. Hey, beautiful. I mean, I wouldn't be, allegedly, in my opinion, I wouldn't be surprised. Just her complete, she's so erratic and just so angry. And I think that's really what it is. You can see she's just very angry and very bitter and just very, very combative. So I wouldn't be surprised if she was. Obviously, I don't know, allegedly, opinion-based, but I would not be surprised if she was. It just seems, it's hard to watch. I will just put it that way. It is very, very hard to watch her. Hey, Pete, if you make your marriage public fodder, people get to chime in. Be quiet and move in silence if you can't handle opposing views about your business. Well, I think that people should, yes, be quiet and move in silence. I think just in general as a good philosophy to have. And then when you have that tangible thing, when, everything is signed on the dotted lines, when everything is like cool and copacetic, then yeah, celebrate it. Because sometimes when you put stuff out there that's still in motion or it's just an idea, maybe it doesn't pan out, or maybe people sabotage you in ways. But I do think it's okay to celebrate your wins. Yes, be quiet, move in silence. I don't think that Tabitha necessarily was saying that she couldn't handle opposing views, but I think this was her response to an opposing view, if that makes sense. She's also a public figure. So sharing about her life and putting those things out there, celebrating her wins is a part of her career as well. And I think that's good. I think it's also a good thing to see. Like, it's a good thing to see a woman, any color, any race, any creed, doing well in her career and having a husband who wanted to support her and having that, healthy relationship out there. So I don't think it's a bad thing. And I'm not saying that she's saying that she can't handle it. She didn't like crumble. She didn't clap back at Wendy the way, let's say, like Erica Mena did, who was like, oh, Erica Mena was like how many months pregnant and was like, oh, I'm like, catch me outside, Wendy, like, let's go out and I'm going to fight you or beat you up or whatever because your husband didn't do a good enough job. Like, to me, that's someone who don't put your business out there if you can't handle opposing views. But the way Tabitha responded, which was very different from the way Erica Mena responded, was, okay, you're coming after me, I'll pray for you. It was kind of like a classy response. So I get what you're saying, but she's allowed to respond to opposing views the same way Wendy is allowed to have her opposing views. Hey, beautiful Kamiko. Norman and Susan RHOA, Wendy is still on the air. I know, they are the ones who are literally holding that together with like glue and shoestrings, but I mean, I don't even know why they don't leave. I was thinking about that the other day, like, to be yelled at and to be reprimanded so much and just like publicly that way, like, there has to be more jobs in television. Like, there has to be another show you can produce or be on. So I don't know. I guess maybe it's that lucrative that it's worth staying. I don't know, but I think that Wendy does need to kind of go. Remember when she did like a month or two where she had like rotating guests come in? I think maybe she needs to do that and like check herself in somewhere where she can get some like day-to-day targeted true help, because it's really, really hard to watch. And it's just so obvious. And I think it's kind of like, we're kind of waiting for like a sad headline, which is what it sounds like. Hey, P, I'm sorry, I don't agree. Oh, no, P, you don't have to apologize for not agreeing. All of our opinions are welcomed, whether you agree with me or not. You are always welcome to give your opinion, so no need to apologize. P says, I'm sorry, I don't agree. Men are supposed to work and take care of their families. She also helped pay his child support. No bueno, let men be men. See, I actually agree with that. I do think that men are supposed to work and take care of their families, and she helped pay his child support. Not good. Let men be men. Yes. So I agree, let a man be a man. But I also think that sometimes relationships have different dynamics. And so if it works for them in a healthy way, like as long as he wasn't exploiting her, as long as, they were genuinely happy, people's relationships sometimes have different dynamics, and what works for one person may not work for somebody else. Like for me, I personally probably would not pay a man's child support. Like I personally wouldn't do that, but I don't really think that if another woman wants to do that, it's really my place to tell her not to. So, I agree, let men be men. I do agree men are supposed to be the head of the household, not in a archaic, patriarchal way. No, not at all. Not at all. But I do believe, more, not even traditional, but just a more, I don't know, it's just kind of what I believe. But then on the same token, I also think that just because I believe that doesn't mean that's going to work for everybody else's relationship. And it doesn't mean that it should. And we also don't know what he was doing for her behind the scenes. Maybe they had a true partnership. maybe she was able to pay the child support, but then he was doing something else behind the scenes. Like, we don't really know what happens in someone's like relationship or marriage. And I don't really think it's my personal place to tell someone what does or doesn't work for them. But I do agree with your sentiment personally. Hey, P, mind you, I think Wendy projected quite a bit. Yes, that's what we were saying in the beginning. She is projecting. This whole thing with Tabitha on other hot topics that she's talked about, when she was dragging the baby that he had out of wedlock, like, sure, drag the man, even drag the woman in this case, but you don't drag a child. Like, the child then has to be here. It's just really hard to watch. And she's projecting so much. And it's just like, Wendy, just because that was your fate, that doesn't mean that it's the fate of other people. Hey, Poetic Cash, she says, hi, Candy of the Candy Canes. Hey, sweetheart. Hey. Hey, Natalia. She goes, keep your personal life to yourself. Hey, Candy. Yes. I mean, that's another thing we've been talking about. I do think, and I was agreeing with what I believe it was P who was saying it. Yes, keep your personal life private and to yourself. Move in silence and get it done. But at the same time, there are times and a place to share those wins. Maybe, perhaps, the win was, I have this cookbook deal. I have X, Y, and Z. And maybe she didn't actually need to put it out there about retiring her husband and all this other stuff and everything else she was doing. So I agree with you. I think, to me, keeping your personal life private, even if you are a public figure, is the healthier route to go. So then you don't put your marriage and relationship under a microscope. But if you do have the right to respond to opposing opinions if they come across you. Hey, Natalia. She goes, Wendy is struggling and crippling mentally. She is. It's like literally watching a train wreck on TV, and it is hard to watch. And I almost want to be like, who is accountable here? Because Wendy clearly is not in the place to be making decisions. Like, should Suzanne step in? Should the executive step in? Like she's on Fox. Like, should those? I think it's Fox, right? Should those executives steps in? Like, who needs to step in here? Because we're all literally watching her mental demise on TV, and it's just escalating. And, allegedly there was reports that she was back on the D word and all of those things. So who needs to step in and say something? I guess they're still collecting, Wendy show checks, but there has to come a threshold and a limit of where we cross the line. Like, it's literally hard to watch. And as you guys come in, welcome to the Candy Shop. Be sure to like and subscribe and comment in the chat box. I want to hear your opinion. So P said, I heard Tabitha is getting a show. She may be Wendy's competition. But did this rumor come out before Wendy went off or after? It's just sort of like an aftermath effect, right? Because anytime Wendy beefs with someone, they always say, oh, she's getting a show. Remember, she was beefing with Nene. Oh, Nene's getting a show. She was beefing with Bethany. Bethany's getting a show. Like, so that kind of always comes out. So, like, let me know. Did you hear that before or after? And what are the deets on that? Hey, Miss T. She says, hi, Candy Canes. Hey, girl. Yes. Hey, Poetic Cal's right instead of bitterness. Exactly. You need to come from a place of wisdom and advice instead of a place of projection and bitterness. Like, are you telling me this out of your brokenness, or are you telling me this out of your healing? Hey, Miss T, only advice Wendy can give me is on a test. I love it. Hey, P, a man taking a job out of his cop is not a sacrifice. They were supposed to provide for their families. We always talk about Black men not providing. Well, let me tell you this. I don't talk about Black men not providing. I love Black men. I love all men. I think that when I say that being a cop is a dangerous job, that is not synonymous with saying that taking a job as a cop is a sacrifice. Those are two different things. So I don't think that a man getting a job of any kind is necessarily a sacrifice, because I agree, like, men should work. And if they have to. Some men don't have to work. Some people have enough money where they don't have to. But let's just talk about a situation where a man does have to work. But you have to understand that there are different degrees of danger and sacrifice within the job that they take. So it's not that he's taking a job that is a sacrifice. It's the type of job. If he was a truck driver, getting a job isn't a sacrifice, but being on the road more than you're at home to provide is a sacrifice, right? Being a truck driver isn't necessarily dangerous, but if you are away from your family more than you are with them, that time lost is a sacrifice. Not having a job isn't the sacrifice. It's what does that job cost you? And I do believe that being a cop is a dangerous job. Just like being a firefighter is a dangerous job. Or whatever, it's like, what does it cost you? Say you're a high-profile lawyer. Again, the time commitment. Are you in the office? Are you in court? Are you researching? Are you, networking and doing all that stuff more than you are spending quality time with your family? Yeah, you have a job and you're providing, but there is compromise and sacrifice with all things. Being a stay-at-home mom, that could be a sacrifice if you have ambitions for your own career or your own life. Sure, you get provided for and taking care of your children is fulfilling, but maybe you're sacrificing your own dreams and what you want for your life. So I'm not saying that taking a job, regardless of what the job is in and of itself, whether you are a man or a woman, is a sacrifice, but you have to be honest and realistic that all jobs comes with compromises and sacrifices within your own life. And by extension of that, the relationships that you have with your loved ones and your children and everything else. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm just saying that if I was Tabitha and not all the other stuff, not all the like taking the child support and all that stuff, not that. I'm just saying from a perspective of, I am now at a point where my husband can help me with my career without putting on a gun and a badge and going on into the streets every day, then yeah, that is something I would want to do. And I don't really see anything wrong with that. As long as he is still providing in his own way, maybe he will, he's retired. It wasn't like he wasn't working. It wasn't like she was like, oh, now I'm in a place just to take care of this man. It was just like, no, now I'm in a place to take care of a man who's taking care of me and my family. Now he can retire from being a police officer. So I don't want that to get confused with talking about Black men not providing, because I don't personally hold that view. I think that is a false narrative. I think it's a very dangerous narrative. And I think that's rooted in a lot of institutionalized and ingrained racism in this country, rooting back to slavery. So I just want to be very, very clear that when you say we, I'm not sure who that we is, because that's not what we think here. Hey, Jolene Alexander, she goes, I'm proud of Tabitha, the hell with weirdo Wendy. I mean, I honestly, Jolene, I agree. Like, I wasn't familiar with Tabitha, but like, if she can do the damn thing, do the damn thing. Wendy literally was just speaking out of her own brokenness. She was literally speaking out of her own wounding. Do you know what I mean? Yay, Sausateases like the video. That's right, you guys. If you are in here, please like and subscribe and comment. Yes, yes, yes. Hey, Tubi Black Native. Hey, sweetheart. Thank you so much for this super chat. I appreciate you. She goes, my husband said he was always afraid his dad wouldn't come home when he worked for Chicago PD. Exactly. Exactly. Being a police officer is a dangerous job. If your job requires you to go into potentially life-threatening situations, that's a dangerous job. I think, being a firefighter, you're going into a fire, that is a dangerous job. These are jobs where your family is worried about whether or not you're coming home, whether or not you're going to be safe. Those are danger. To me, even being a pilot is kind of a dangerous job, because just, clearly like planes don't crash every day, but just in our minds, there is always that question of, are you coming back today? Which doesn't exist when you have someone who goes into an office. It's not. And I do believe being a police officer is a dangerous job. So let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. Thank you to be Black Native again so much for your super chat. I really, really, Really appreciate it. Okay. Let's see. Miss T, the fund is more like allocate funds differently. Exactly, Miss T. Exactly. So earlier we were talking about the whole like defund the police. It's not about like take the money out of the police and fire all policemen. It's about how do you allocate the funds, and then also on top of that, strategically, how do you allocate the types of situations and cases that police go to. So maybe a police officer isn't going to, like, he's not pulling you for, one thing is like, for example, a police officer isn't pulling you over because you ran a stop sign or because your tags are expired or because you ran a red light or you didn't do a full stop or whatever, that we can allocate that to maybe like the parking police, right? Because if you think about so much where, you know, since we're talking about race and it's out there, you know, Black people in general, Black men in particular, being pulled over. And it's like this whole anxiety of, am I going to literally physically survive being pulled over by the police? So if the police are no longer pulling us over for like traffic and parking violations, that is a huge burden lifted. And so that's really more about what defund the police is about. It's more about allocating the funds and allocating for what things police come to and what they don't come to. Also having people who work in social services come, or like a therapist come to de-escalate these situations, to help the police so things don't escalate. So that's really more of what it's about. Hey, Darren Hodge goes, at P, are you a New Yorker? Hey, XOXO, yes, allocate the areas that require attention. You're correct, Candy. Exactly. Yes. Hey, P, it is a bad message. If your boss said, Candy, I'm going to defund your salary, then say reform, not defund, but I digress. Well, I don't necessarily think that it's a bad message, rather than I think that the word defund, I think people misconstrue. So it's not that I don't think the message of what defund the police actually means is bad, but I think that maybe we could call it something else so that the average person understands it clearly. P says, at Darren Hood, yes. P says, LAPD is one of the largest law enforcement, so beat cop is not the only job. Leaving 5 years before you collect your pension because of money is short-sighted. I mean, not necessarily. 5 years on the force, I mean, of what his job is, I don't know. 5 years is a long time. And I also think about different people's mindsets, right? So if you have an abundant mindset and you are now in a new place in your life with your family where you have the opportunity to retire early, then why not? If you have a scarcity mindset, then you might stay in a dangerous, unfulfilling job in fear of not having enough money. I'm more of an abundant person who thinks, you know, if God, universe, the light, whatever you want to call it, is making a way for my family to live better, to be on a different level, to up-level our lives, I'm going to take it and I'm going to trust that it all works out. So I really think it depends on what mindset you're coming from. Hey, Natalia. She says, hi, Candy. Hey, beauty. Yes. Hey, Miss T. Wendy W. definitely needs an HR. Yeah, she needs human resources. And she also needs to go to like detox, spa, inpatient treatment, something. Because it is so hard to watch her. Like, just in my own gut, she's really hard to watch. Hey, Kamiko, Susan tried to leave, but Denmark probably have her something, allegedly. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised, because the way Suzanne responds and the way Wendy treats her, it's too much. Like, I'm not going to be on TV having some woman yell, shut up at me and say all these things about me and have it and keep it cute and copacetic. I don't think so. No. Hey, Miss T, Wendy W. definitely needs some time off. She does. She needs some time off, and she really needs to go and get some help, like some legit deep-rooted spiritual, mental, emotional help, and it's hard to watch. And she's almost like a headline waiting to happen. And I don't mean to put that out. I don't mean to put out any negativity or anything like that, but that's just how it feels on like a gut level. It's scary. Hey P, the announcement sparked convos reason the black strong woman trope. Right. Don't let this be another strong black woman goal to retire your husband. Nope. Okay. Well, I don't think that I would say this. No, I don't think it should be a goal to be like, I'm going to work so hard that I can retire my husband. But I also don't think that we should miss the forest for the trees. Because again, I don't know that much about Tabitha Brown. So I'm only commenting on what I've seen recently regarding her interaction with Wendy Williams. So let me just be transparent about that. But I also think that there's something to be said about being able to have healthy interdependent relationships with someone where it's not codependent, where, you know, one person is feeling that they have to be another person's caretaker or enabler, or an independent relationship where you feel like you do have to be that solo, strong black woman taking care of everything. And that's also a type of codependency as well. But it seems as though from what I saw and what she was saying we've both made concessions for the greater goal of our relationship and our family. And now that I'm able to do more and that we have more, now he can retire and do different things. So correct me if I'm wrong, but what it seemed to me that she was saying was, my husband took this job that he did not necessarily want to take in order to provide for my family so that I could go for my goals and dreams. You know, I could be the actress, I could be the influencer, I could, you know, do the vegan cookbooks and all that stuff. And now that all that work is paying off, and now that we are in a place financially where he no longer has to work, I'm going to let him retire. So to me, that seems more like an interdependent relationship where he was like, I need to provide for my family. You have this goal and dream. I'm going to take this job now in order to do that for you, or for us rather. And since that has now paid off, I don't really see a problem with her letting him retire early. I think that if he had no job, if he wasn't, and it seems like they're really happy, and it seems like that they're in love, and it seems like he's really been supportive towards her. So I don't really look at Tabitha Brown as this strong black woman trope. I kind of look at her as someone who is in a relationship with her husband. He took a job he didn't like so that she could follow her dream. Her dream is paying off, and now he gets to quit that job. And I don't really see what is so wrong with that. And I actually think that if a white woman did it, it wouldn't be this big controversy. It would just be like, oh, wow, that family is on the come up. You know, there are a lot of white women who have gotten to a point in their career where they now are the breadwinner or whatever the case may be. I think that it's more detrimental to tell black women that they're not allowed to be in partnerships and that every aspect of that partnership will be scrutinized. If that makes sense. I think to me that's a more of a dangerous conversation, because I don't think that Tabitha was saying your goal needs to be you work hard so your husband doesn't have to. To me, her story was more of, my husband made this sacrifice getting a job he didn't like for us. That's paying off. Now I'm going to do this for us. Maybe she doesn't want her husband to be out on the streets. Maybe she doesn't want to worry about whether or not he's coming back home. Maybe she wants him working with her on the book, working with her on auditions, working with her on whatever, you know, somebody even in the chat said she might be getting her own TV show. Maybe she wants her to be more of a manager role or a producer role or a co-creator role or whatever it is. Why are they not allowed to have a come up? That to me is the bigger question. Why is this Black couple not allowed to have a come up? You know, just because he's retiring doesn't mean that he's going to now do nothing. That was my understanding, that he was just now able to retire from the LAPD. It's just, I don't know. That's just sort of how I feel. Hey, Sasha T, Tabs rebuke Wendy in the name of Jesus. I know. She's like, I will pray you find love. I rebuke it too. I don't want to speak ill on anybody's marriage. Peace is true. Every relationship is different, but Black women always have to go above and beyond. Sit back. Stop doing too much. It seemed, and I mean, we just went over this. I don't really think that applies in Tabitha's situation. It didn't seem like she was going above and beyond. It seemed more like they just got to a point where they could level up. Hey, Jay Mesa, situations can be difficult. Yeah, situations can be difficult. And I think that we have to have the perspective and the grace and the wherewithal to know that different relationships and different situations can look differently. And it doesn't necessarily mean that someone is being like the strong Black woman doing too much. Maybe she was fortunate enough to have a husband who took a job he didn't like so she could succeed. And now that she is succeeding, they want to have a different life and a different lifestyle. I know that I would never want to be married to a police officer because that would be too scary. So maybe she doesn't want to be married to a police officer anymore. And it's not like they are poor and destitute. Like, she's to the point where she has enough money where he can retire. So to me, it's more of a success story than anything else. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Hey, Pete, Wendy needs to definitely take a break. Yes, we should probably do an Oprah move. Oprah only does particular interviews, but Wendy doesn't have the high-end cachet like Oprah. Yeah, and if you watch, Wendy bashes Oprah every single moment she can. She bashes her every single moment she can. It was insane. It's insane. And I'm like, stop coming for Oprah. She didn't send for you. Hey, Kamoko. She goes, those home COVID-19 videos were horrible. Yeah, they were horrible and scary, and how she was just like eating and talking to herself and doing all this stuff. It literally was just like watching like, what's it called? Green Gardens or Green Gable. Like, it was just so hard to watch. Like, we need to like hashtag save Wendy. Like, I know she says crazy stuff and she can be very combative, but to me, at this point, it supersedes that. At this point, it's like, somebody needs to step in because she's about to be a headline. And again, I don't want to speak negativity into anybody's life or into anybody's world, but that's just what it feels like, and it's scary. You guys, if you're in here, don't forget to like and subscribe and to comment. Yes, yes, yes. And you guys, we can talk about anything. We've been talking about Wendy, but we also have Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Ready to Love, and Real Housewives of Atlanta. But let's keep it going in the comments, whatever you guys want to talk about. Jamie says, candy shop. I like that. Yes, this is the candy shop, and you guys are my little candy canes. Hey, Poetic Kells. She definitely needs some spiritual healing. Yes, she does. She really does. And it's hard to watch. It's just, it's like the toxicity. Hey, Lisa Thomas, Wendy is always going to give her opinions because it's her job. That's what her show is about. No, I totally agree. I totally agree that Wendy can always give her opinion, and that is her job. She does Hot Topics. She's a pop culture host, definitely. But I also think that as viewers, we can also see where her opinion is coming from and what it's based in. And then we're also allowed to have our opinions on her commentary. You know, I'm just a YouTuber, and you guys have opinions on my commentary, right? Some of you agree with me, some of you don't. So the same goes for Wendy. You know, she's on such a bigger platform. She has her own TV show and all of those things. So when she gives her opinion, because it's her job, us as viewers, we will have our opinion on her opinion as well, because it's just the conversation. It's just the dialogue. And I think that the reason why it struck a chord was because the way she delivered it and the way she came across just seemed so mean-spirited. So there's a difference between reporting on the news and giving your perspective on it versus like coming after someone. It's not so much what she said, it's how she said it. And that's why I think it blew up into this, because it was so clear that she was projecting her own trauma and wounding and brokenness onto this situation, rather than being an objective host having some shade at this pop culture person. Hey, Sasha T. They will have to drag her out of that purple chair by her wig to get her to stop. She'll hold on to that show to the very end. I agree. But it's just like at the point where it's just like, this is just too much. You know, remember at the Halloween when she passed out? Like that was a lot. And it's just too much. I agree. My opinion, not yours. Hey, beautiful. She goes, her legacy is tarnishing. I agree. Sometimes it's better to get out. I mean, she's not even at the top right now, but I think that, well, I guess she is at the top, but you know what I mean. It's better to get out while you're on the top than to be dragged out. That's the worst. And you can also see how she is projecting and is jealous. Like, remember the Up and Adam interview that he got with Fallon? And how when they showed it on her show, she literally was so nasty. She was like, we don't need to hear any more of her story. Like, we already know. Like, can we not talk about this? Like, I don't talk about this anymore. Like, let's not talk about this. And it was so clear that, like, maybe she had been pitching for that interview and didn't get it. And instead of celebrating that, you know, there's up and comers coming and trying to give light to it, she shaded it. And I'm like, oh, we don't need to hear any more of her story. But, you know, word on the street is you were pitching for that interview yourself. So which is it? Nothing to hear about Fallon's interview, or are you butthurt because you didn't get it? So I think that you're right. Her legacy is tarnishing. And I think it's time for her to like gracefully bow out, especially now that there's so many other talk shows and platforms like social media. Like, we know the hot topics more before she does, and sometimes better than she does. You know, the landscape has changed. Back in the radio days, in the beginning of TV, there was only a few sources for this information. But now you can go on YouTube and you already know, or Instagram, and you know the hot topics. You know the situation. And sometimes we know it better than she does. It's almost like an Andy Cohen situation. Know when your time is up. You know, watching him at the reunions now, it's hard to watch because he's so tone deaf, not only to the lived experience and the culture of each franchise, but he's also just tone deaf to everything that has transpired. Like, we know more about the Housewives and what's going on with them based on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube and you know, the blogs and everything, more so than he even knows. So when he's up there on the reunions talking out of his neck, we are all looking at him all types of crazy and sideways because we already know everything that went down. And it's just not having your eye on the pulse anymore and not being able to adapt to the changing landscape now. So, I mean, if I was her, Wendy, you have enough money. Let it go. Go out on a high note, get your joy back, get your mind right, and ride out the rest of your long life ahead of you. You know, she's only in her 50s. And ride it out. Do something else. I don't know. Hey, girlfriend, because I thought Wendy behavior was because of Kevin's alleged wedding last week. Oh, I know. I saw that he got married to the side chick / baby mama. Yeah, I saw that. But I think she's been behaving like this for a while. So to me, of course, that's going to make her escalate and act out. But I mean, she has to get it under control. She has to. You know, the same way she talks to her deceased mother all the time. It's too much. Hey, Pete, that's true. You don't. I love them too. I meant the royal we, not you specifically here. Gotcha. Okay, thank you, P. And P, I love you here. Thank you for sharing your opinion that is different than mine. So I appreciate your voice and I appreciate your perspective. So keep coming with it. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. I'm going to try and catch up with everything. LP says she wished up on Britney Spears. That was definitely in bad taste. Yikes. Hey, Natalie. She goes, hi, Candy. It's Natalie. I caught the live this time. Yes. I don't watch Ready to Love, but I'm still here for your video. Also, do you watch Put a Ring on It? I don't watch Put a Ring on It, but I saw promos for it, so I might get into it. Let me guys know if you want to do that, and we can switch gears to Ready to Love or Real Housewives. But let's see what you guys are saying in the comment box. Miss T says being a police officer is a dangerous job for the whole family these days. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's dangerous out on these streets. It is dangerous out on the streets. XOXO says at 2B, that's so sad to hear. That's right, 2B, we love you. And we love your husband, and we hope his dad is safe and sound. XOXO says exactly, Miss T. Yes, 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 yes. Let's see. Saucy says, parking please be racist too. They take pleasure in giving tickets. Yes, 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 yes. So yes, parking police can be racist too, but they're not carrying a gun. So they're less likely to shoot you for running a stop sign or being parked in the wrong place or having, that's more of what it is, But the thing is, everyone can be racist. Do you know what I mean? Miss T says, I think the definition of defund isn't described well to people, and this is why people don't get it or stand behind it. Exactly. I agree with you. Hey, Lady Tia's T-shirts and designs. Hey, beautiful. Y'all hit that like button. Have a great show. Yes, thank you. That's right. You guys hit that like, subscribe, and comment. We are just getting started. And welcome back from the long weekend, my candy canes. P says, let's hope we get to the point where unarmed or armed Black people make it home like cops do a majority of the time. That's not snark, just facts. Yes, yes, yes. Hey, Keva Powell. She says, hi, Candy. Hey. XOXO says, I am NYC and we have a major problem with the homeless mental health issue. Yeah. I mean, I live in LA and we have it too. It's insane. Hey, Tequila Heartfelt, a couple can be heads of the household together and take care of each other. Yeah, that is what I'm saying. As long as the relationship is interdependent, right? As long as the couple is together, it's a healthy relationship. One person, husband or wife, might have to take X, Y, and Z job, right? To take care of hold down the family. But as long as the other person is pulling their weight in a mutually beneficial way for the family, who am I to say who has to be the breadwinner or who has to do this or that? Like, who am I to judge that? To me, I think as long as each person is being mutually beneficial in the relationship, how that shakes out, to me, is really none of my business. Versus the strong Black woman trope, which is I have to be everything to everyone at all times. I have to hold everybody down. I can't ask for help. I'm not worthy and deserving of a partner. All of this stuff. I don't think it means that Black women can't work and can't bring home a check. I just think it means, are you in a partnership where what works for you and your family might look different, but it's a partnership, right? Maybe sometimes it is the woman going out to work and the man doing something else, but it's rooted in a mutually beneficial relationship. How it shakes out is none of my business. But my only opinion is that it needs to be mutually beneficial and both people are pulling their weight in the way that makes best sense for everyone involved. And I think that we need to give Black women grace to show up in their relationships in the healthiest way for themselves and the relationship. It's like, damned if we do, damned if we don't. If we don't want to work and do anything, then we're thoughts and we're gold diggers or this, that, and the third. If we do want to work and contribute to the household income, then we're the strong Black woman trope. It's like we can't win. So I think it's just time to give us grace. And as long as we are in relationships with ourselves and each other that is reciprocal and mutually beneficial, give us grace to be human. That's kind of like what I'm saying. Hey, Deanna C. She goes, Wendy will be going on her summer hiatus soon. So hopefully that will give her enough time to rest fully and get her mental aura together. I agree, because she needs to get it all the way together. Hey, Miss T, it should be a goal of everybody to get out of their job early if they can. Exactly. So many people work so hard and then don't get to live. I agree with you. Exactly. That's what we were talking about earlier. I was like, are you living out of an abundant mindset or a scarcity mindset, right? Like, who says we need to work ourselves to death or work until the pension? There is a better way to live. Some people with abundant mindsets invest correctly and get to retire early, right? Hey, Jasmine Lockett. Hey, pretty. She goes, they moved to Cali for her dreams and he worked that job providing for their family for 15 years. And she said they were broke together. That's not her goal. Exactly. Thank you, Jasmine. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, he sacrificed for her. And now that they have the come up, why not change your lifestyle? Why not change your lifestyle? That's the whole point. Thank you, Jasmine. Hey, Sam Blank, Wendy is giving Anna Nicole Smith final years. Oh, I know. It's really scary and it's really hard to watch. Hey, Sashi, define, demilitarize, abolish. Yes. Hey, Pete at XO. Yes, we do. Anytime affordable public housing is proposed, NIMBY's not in my backyard come out. Yeah, it's a lot. Hey, 2B Black Native. Hey, sweetheart. Wendy just blessed Tabitha with a huge amount of new subscribers. Yeah, she did. We were talking about that earlier. I had no idea who Tabitha Brown was, but now we're all talking about it. The conversation's all opened up. So what Mindy meant for someone's demise, God meant for their come up. Hey, Miss T, maybe she should have said encourage him to retire early instead of saying let. To me, it just sounds like a wording issues. Yeah, so maybe it was lost in translation, right? Or maybe she was saying like let him retire early because maybe he was saying like, no, I took this job that I didn't really want to take for you and for our family so you can follow your dreams. And she's like, no. I know you did this for me, but like now that we're in this place, I'm going to let you retire early and I'm going to let you enjoy your life. I'm going to let you pivot and do something else that maybe you love and do. So I think maybe the interpretation's wrong. So that's a really good point, Miss T. Hey, beautiful Aegis Bloom. She goes, you're right, Candy. That is one of the things that Tabitha has talked about on several occasions. Yes. Thank you so much. Hey, 2B Black Native, she promised 5 years, but retired him in 15 years. Yeah. So, yeah, there you go. Maybe they had that compromise. And also, we have to remember that just because he's retiring from the LAPD, that doesn't mean that he doesn't have other goals and aspirations and career things he wants to do. And also if they are able to have him or her or whatever retire, why not? Who says we have to work ourselves to death? Like who says that has to be the way? Like if you are in a position to live a more luxurious and relaxing and fulfilled life, then do it. You know what I'm saying? Like honestly, if he had been a guy on Wall Street and he was trading and all this stuff and their family got enough money through that for him to retire early, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. No one would bat an eye. That would just be acceptable, right? So why can't it be acceptable now? Hey, Natalia, what happened on Ready to Love? Okay. All right. So let's switch into Ready to Love. So I thought the reunion on Ready to Love was a bit of a bore. Like I was waiting for like more stuff to come out, but it was literally more of the same. So AJ was still seeing Kyra, whatever her name is, Kyra, after the whole experience, right? So they were still going on dates, all this stuff. Then it became a time where she had some trip that she had planned. So she went on the trip, but she was still in contact with him. And then during that time, Alexis Fly had reached out to him or DM'd him or whatever, like on her birthday, being like, was it all a lie? Was it fake? Blah, blah, blah. And he was like, no, it wasn't. Let me take you out. And they ended up going out and making out and all this stuff behind Kyra's back. So then Alexis Fly, of course, went and told Kyra everything that went down. AJ is still saying, Alexis, you're not the one for me. You were all into Ron. I still want to hang out with Kyra. My mind, I'm confused. None of this makes sense to me. Like literally none of it. I still stand by the fact that I think that Kyra just wants her own spinoff show. I don't think she's checking for AJ at all. I think she's only butthurt about Jason because he ended up choosing Liz, where I think in Kyra's mind, Liz wasn't competition to her, if that makes sense. So we talked about that. Ron was on there just being weird as ever. Like Ron just to me oozes insecurity and like one of those guys that like when he doesn't feel secure, he just sort of like picks at you and calls you names and like wants to like be mean to you. He seems like one of those guys, who was just like, oh, well, I didn't want you, like, you're ugly anyway, or you're this, you're that anyway. Ooh. He just seems like sort of like one of those types. And then there were more people on there, but I had forgotten all those people. I had forgotten them. So you guys in the chat, let me know what you talk about Ready to Love, because I was just kind of ready for it to be over. I really wasn't feeling it. I really was not into it at all. Let me know what you guys think. I was kind of like, this is it? Hey, Lena T, that could be any show. So can you be more exact, please? Which one? What do you mean, which show? About what? Let me know. Hey, Sam Blank, when I worked at an OGYN, there were 3 women doctors and none of their husbands worked. So the doctors were white and 1 Asian. Exactly. It happens in other cultures too. And for some reason, like the Black woman gets a bad rap for it. I think you just have to be clear on what works for you and your family. Tasha says, girl, let's get into this Real Housewives of Beverly Hills State. Yes. Okay, so let's switch it. So according to, I think it was the Real Housewives or the Real Beverly Hills Andy, he's another YouTuber. He was saying that word on the street is that Bravo is ready to fire Erica and that they are already trying to cast her replacement. Even though the season isn't up yet, just giving all the backlash, it is time for Erica to get the boot, which I would agree with. She's very hard to watch and everything that's going on, so I'm ready for that. So she might be getting fired and be getting the boot. Word on the street also is that the reason why Shannon Bedore is still on the show and not fired is because she started a company on the show. I think it's either her like frozen fish or her frozen meals or whatever. So she started that company on the show and apparently it's doing well. And so Bravo gets a percentage of that. It's called like the Bethany clause. Because remember when Bethany started Skinny Girl, she didn't have a contract with Bravo saying that she had to give them a percentage of her company. And look how big that went. And so Bravo was like, never again. So now if you start a business on the show and you promote it on the show, you have to pay Bravo a percentage of your sales. And so what they're saying is they're not going to fire Shannon because they still want a piece of that business, a piece of that business pie. So I guess maybe you only have to pay them that percentage for as long as you're on the show, not indefinitely, which would make sense because if you're no longer the show, you're no longer promoting it on the show. So that makes sense. So that's kind of why they're saying that Shannon sort of has immunity from being fired is because of her business and Bravo wants a percentage of that. Also, word on the street is that Giselle, I think it was during like a Watch What Happens Live, was saying to Andy, like, oh, let's get Denise back. Like Denise would want to come back, but she would only come back if Rinna wasn't on there. And of course, messy Andy was like, oh, well, we don't like demands. Really, Andy? Hush. Because you take demands from other housewives. Okay. So, like, don't pretend like you don't. So yeah, it's kind of like the Real Housewives of Bravo's team. Allegedly, Erica's being fired. They're already shopping her replacement. Shannon has immunity because Bravo wants her business and brand checks. Denise wants to come back, but with no Lisa Rinna. I would love it if they fired Rinna and Kyle. And actually, no, I take that back. I want them to fire Rinna, Erica, and Dorit. The 3 of them, the little 3 alliance. I want the 3 of them fired and then bring back Denise, LVP, and a newbie. That's what I would want. Because the 3 of them, to me, Rinna never talks about her own life. Ever. She never talks about her marriage with Harry other than some like very generic, oh, Harry this, we're going to do that. But no nitty gritty, no issues they have, none of that. You know, before she talked about Amelia's eating disorder. This season, she's talking about Amelia dating Scott Disick. But what's happening in her relationship? What's going on in her house? You know, she's kind of doing I'm talking about everybody else but my own stuff. And Dorit has 0 storyline. Can you name one this season or even last season? I'll wait. She's literally just there for what? I don't know. I'm confused. But let's see what you guys are saying. Missy says, absolutely, Candy. Marriage is a 2-way street and the rules in marriage change. Yes, exactly. And it's 2021. Like, the dynamic has totally changed. Hey, Brenda. She goes, happy belated 4th of July. Beautiful candies. Yes, everyone. Happy 4th. Yes, yes, yes. P. Wendy should definitely retire. She's loaded. So not new money, Luke, Tabitha, in that sense. Okay. A couple of million can be gone with a catastrophic illness in this country. But anyway, Wendy needs a break. Hey, Miss T. Absolutely, some retired policemen go on to be mayors and governors of states. Exactly. Just because you're retired doesn't mean that you're not going to do anything. Or maybe you're not, and that's okay too. You know, let people live and have money and be happy. Hey, Miss Lana T. I'm Miss T. I agree. And on Tabitha's live, she has grace. We usually hear from her. Hey, Poetic Kels, she wants to be Oprah so bad. She does. She wants the respect that Oprah gets. And that's why she's always like, oh, Oprah got down in the dirt with us. It's like, not really. Stop. That's a reach. P. Chance said he likes being a cop. He looked a bit sad. But anyway, he's a nonprofit to build. With her fame, she should be able to make it work. Hey, Sephora has a clone. Winnie needs a reality TV show. She does. Wasn't she angling to be on the Real Housewives of Miami? Because that's where like her ex-husband lives, and that's where like her family lives and all that stuff. And maybe little Kev goes to school there. But she was angling to be on that show. But I think she should be on a different one. But after she takes a mental break and after she really works on her own tick. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Effie News. She goes, hey, Candy. Hi, Candy Canes. Hey, that's right. So you guys, you are in here. We are a little bit over an hour in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Yes. Hit that notification bell. And you can always support the channel if you want to. So Poetic Cal says, exactly. Since when where her opinions come from? Since we see where her opinions come from. Exactly. So we as the viewers can have an opinion on her opinion because everything is out there. You know, like that time is over. Everyone is out here. Oh, you guys are in the chat. Okay, I'm going to skip some of this so I can see what you guys are saying and get to some people who hasn't said hi yet. Hi tonight, Hazel. She says, hey, girl, hey. Yes. Oh, House of the Apprentice says, hey, baby girl, DM me after your show. It's important. Okay, I will. I'll DM you, sweet girl. Mwah. Hey, Simply Anini. She goes, hey, everyone. Yes. Hey, Appy News. I cannot wait for the Ready to Love commentaries. Yes. So we talked about the Ready to Love. Put it down there. I thought it was kind of boring. I wanted something more. Maybe that's to come. But I think it played itself out. To be nice, no wedding last week. It was allegedly a commitment ceremony to Sheree. Oh, like he needs a bigger commitment. Hey, DGF62756 like. Oh, yay, that's right, you guys, like this video. Yes. We have over 100 people watching, so we should have over 100 likes. Like. Thank you, guys. Yes. Hey, Young. Hey, Young Rich. Oh, snap, you're live. Yes, we are live. Yes, we are doing it. Hey, Jay Mesa. Women tend to have higher IQ than men. I mean, I might be a little biased because I'm a woman, maybe. Hey, Young Rich. Wendy have been having a hiatus every single month. You always come through with the shade. I cannot. Hey, Jasmine. She goes, you're welcome. Yes. He has a nonprofit that he is focusing on now. Yes. Mimi Ashley says, yes, he's a coach, though, youth sports. Same seat. There you go. He has other things to focus on. He has other things to do. Like if you can give someone a more comfortable life together, why not? Hey, Kamiko, I don't think he wanted to retire, but he compromised. Oh, so now you guys are saying he didn't want to retire. That's a twist. Hey, Young Rich, did you see Notori saying she stand with Felicia Rashad and Keely said somebody give her a two-piece, referring to the chicken bucket throwing incident? Wow. I did not see that, but I do not stand with Felicia Rashad, so there you go. Her coming out in support of Bill Cosby was really gross to me. Yes. Hey, you guys. Sasha says, anybody watch The Grapevine on YouTube? Looks like Aisha died last week. Oh my goodness. It's so shocking. She's my favorite panelist. I don't watch that, but if someone passed away, condolences. Oh no. As Sasha T, is that a spoiler? So sad. At Kimiko, somebody needs to take Keely's phone. Yes. Young Riches, can they fire Lisa Rinna too? What is she bringing besides that jammed up lips? I agree. She needs to go. I am done with her. Kimiko says, young skinny rich. Oh, yes, Kelly's phone need to be where that note she tries to hit. Oh, you guys are in here with the shade of it all. Hey, Natalia says, Erica went on a jet private plane. I bet she's not going to turn up to the reunion. Yeah, I saw that. She was like jet setting and everything else out. I bet she doesn't turn up either, but like, it's just disgusting what's going on. And she needs to go to jail, allegedly, my opinion, for everything that's going on and to like flaunt it. Like first you do that fake photo shoot where you're all like trying to look homely and now you're on a private jet. Girl, bye. Sasha T says, no, The Grapevine is a show on YouTube where Black panels discuss social issues in real life. Oh, so sad. Missy says, yes, Bethany won. Bethany did. Bethany really did. Happy News says, Young Rich, those lips. Yes, yes, yes. Jasmine says, it was Garcelle. Yes, yes, yes. Hey, beautiful Marcella. She goes, hey, beautiful. Yes, thank you, sweetheart. Hey, hey. Young Rich is at Kimiko. Somebody said she sounded like Barry White. Oh, no, not that. Miko says, one of the panels less saucity. Oh, no, that's what you guys are saying. Darren Hood is saying it'll be fine if Rinna and Eric are gone with Dorit as well. I agree. Kimberly Ann says, please get rid of Rinna, Crystal, and Dorit. Yeah, I mean, Crystal to me is on the fence. Like, she needs to reel it in. You know what? When I was thinking about Crystal and Sutton, I think Crystal is actually really jealous and triggered by Sutton. Because if you think about it, Crystal has been talking about how she was growing up and how she really wanted to assimilate into white culture. She wanted to be blonde. She wanted to be thin. She wanted to be blue-eyed. She wanted to be, affluent and rich. And that kind of embodies everything that Sutton is, right? Sutton's blonde, blue-eyed, Southern Belle, has legitimate money, is very thin, used to be a dancer, and she's naturally thin, right? But you see Crystal has kind of wanted to assimilate to white culture. And she's expressed how she's had those eating disorders and wanted to be thin. So I think the reason why Crystal has actually been going so hard for Sutton is because Sutton triggers those insecurities within Crystal. So I think if Crystal could kind of get some self-awareness around that and lighten up and chill out and be more of herself, I would want Crystal to stay because I do think that Crystal has potential. She just needs to rein it in with that wacky Sutton stuff. Hey, Sam Blank, Giselle's tagline is colorist. She has similar statements on the show. She has said similar statements on the show before. I mean, they're called Green-Eyed Bandits, so yeah, I'm pretty sure she is colorist. I wouldn't be surprised. Hey, Marcella, she goes, y'all, hit that like button, please. Thumbs up. That's right. Hit that like button. Do it up. Hit that like, subscribe, and comment. Again, there's over 100 of y'all in here. We need to have over 100 likes. Let's keep it going. Young Skinny says, replace them with Nicole Murphy, Nicole Richie, and LaToya Jackson. Yes. I would actually love to see Nicole Richie back on the screen. Yeah, yes, Kyle, stay. Yes, left Kyle to stay. Exactly. Yeah. I would actually love to see Nicole Richie back on the screen. Why not? I like Nicole Richie. Slick Lick Lou says, ain't no way I'm supporting Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I know, not anymore. It's too hard. It's way, way too hard. Hey, Natalia. She goes, Dorit should be fired. Agreed. Denise should come back. Agreed. Dorit is a mean girl and follower. Agreed. Teddy should never come back. And why is she a bully and a mean girl decided to be a follower and gang up on Denise and LVP? Agreed. Basically, you summed it up. I agree. Hey, Kimberly Ann. Rinna is too busy trying to hide the fact that Harry has a boyfriend in Canada. Oh, you said it. You said it. I would not be surprised, allegedly, in our opinion. Hey, Kamiko. She goes, Sasha T. Oh, wow. Rip, I may try to check it out. Yeah, rip to that panelist. Absolutely. Hey, Tom G. Rinna is living every moment of her daughter in the limelight. She's allegedly friends with Chris K. Yes. No, Rinna and Kris Jenner are very close. They're very, very good friends. And I'm sure it was like Chris who probably helped her with this whole like lip kit Rinna beauty stuff. And yeah, Rinna is loving it. Totally loving it because she's loving it that she gets to talk about someone other than herself. Oh, thank you, Lola Chanel. Thank you so much for the super chat. Yes, I appreciate you. She goes sending love. Mwah, I am sending love right back to you. I appreciate that so much. Thank you for the super chat. Hey, Slick Lick Lou, consexual. Sex equals trouble. Exploiting the vulnerable, blood money equals no big deal. Tell me about it. Hey, Ellen Paul says, hi, beautiful. I appreciate your great work. Oh, thank you so much. And I appreciate you too. And I appreciate everybody in here. Whether you like or you don't like, I appreciate you. Thanks for coming. Hey, Miss T, Erica needs to go for sure. Dorit is there to show her fashion. Yeah, but her like ill-begotten fashion. That's the thing, right? So allegedly, her and PK have had all of these lawsuits. They've been defrauding people. They move every season. where is their money coming from? Because by all accounts, Dorit's swimsuit line never really launched in a meaningful way. Her partners were suing her, saying she didn't pay and she stole the money. Where are they getting their money from? What does PK do? He manages Boy George, but how much money is that raking in? Like, I don't know. Like, I kind of want to, what's going on there, right? Hey, Kimberly Ann. Oh, happy belated 4th, Candy. You too, sweetheart. Thank you, beauty. I love your lip color. That is beautiful. Hey, Lala Chanel. She goes, Wendy is scorned and bitter. She's scorned and bitter and, like, sad. And just, she needs some real help. Hey, Nihar. She goes, hey, Candy in chat. Yes. Hey. Thank you guys for coming through. Hey, Takia Warren. She goes, hey, Candy, late to the chat. That is okay. Better late than never, sweetheart. Thank you for joining. Hi, Tiny Hazel. She goes, agreed. Yes. Or is it Tiny or Tanae? Let me know. Ready to Love was boring, sad. Yes, that's what I was saying. It was so boring. I was like, this is it? I can't. But let's talk about, what do you guys think about Sheree and you better call Tyrone coming to the Real Housewives of Atlanta? So Prison Bae and Sheree allegedly, I believe it's been confirmed, is coming back to Atlanta. What do you guys think? And I don't think it's been confirmed if Cynthia's coming back yet. So this is the thing. My niece was here and we were watching old seasons and episodes of RHOA that Sheree was on. And I gotta tell you, Sheree was great. She was the bone carrier. Remember she was the bone carrier? She would have a conversation with Portia Phaedra, take that bone right over to Candy and Kenya, talk to Candy and Kenya, take that bone right over to Fordra and I mean, she was stirring the pot and stirring the pot and stirring the pot. And she was literally the bone collector. So for that aspect, I take back what I said before. I wouldn't mind Sheree coming back. But I have to put this caveat on it. If she brings Prison Bae Tyrone, I want their relationship to be nothing but happiness and healthy and fun and all that stuff. If she brings Prison Bae on and he is dogging her out, I am going to be upset. I'm gonna be pissed because I don't want that on my screen. If that makes any sense. Like earlier, we were talking about the strong Black woman trope. To me, deciding to date a man who is incarcerated and then having him come out incarcerated and then have him treat you poorly, that to me is that narrative. So if they come on, I want him to worship the ground she walks on. I want her to be happy. I want her to be healthy. I want her to be loved. I want them to be the epitome of a beautiful, beautiful couple. I want him to have changed his ways and he literally worships her. That is the only way I can stomach it. The only way. Because if you hold a man down for years while he is incarcerated and you made that choice and sacrifice, he better treat you like the princess queen you are. That's the only way I want her to come back with him. Hey, beautiful Vanessa Hadid. Thank you so much for the super chat. I love it. She goes, I love Wendy, and I'm surprised she didn't have anything to say in response to Tabitha's beautiful prayer and a response to her opinion. I mean, maybe she didn't have a response because she knew that Tabitha was right. And that's the thing. I love Wendy too. I do. I know she can be, I know she's wacky. I know she's got some stuff going on. I know she's not maybe mentally stable. I do love her. And that's why I want her to go take a beat, a long beat, and really, really get some help, you know? So I agree. I think she didn't say anything because maybe she had more on her plate and all that stuff. So who knows? Hey, Sasha T, being married to a dark-skinned Black person doesn't absolve you from colorism, internalized anti-Blackness. No, it doesn't. Not at all. There are plenty of people married to Black people, dark-skinned people who are colorist, racist, anti-Black, all of that stuff. No, I agree with you, Sasha T, 100%. Hey, Siliclu, Sheree can read. Yes, Sheree can read with the best of them. She can definitely read with the best of them, and she is the bone collector and carrier, so she'll bring it back forth all the way. Yes. Hey, Young Rich, he goes, love Sheree. Yes, I'm happy she's back. Hey, Darren Hood, he goes, I agree with you on that, Candy. Exactly. I mean, if she comes on with Tyrone, it better be Black excellence love all day long. I don't want to see any BS. I don't want to see him being emotionally abusive. I don't want to see him being physically abusive. I don't want him being mentally abusive. I don't want to see him cheating. I don't want any of that. They better be Black excellence if they come on after all of that. At Young Rich, to me, Sheree was never boring, to be honest. I agree. I don't think she ever was boring. I think maybe she didn't have a storyline at some points. Maybe that's why. But I never thought she was boring. Hey, Kimiko. She goes, I never had any issues with Sheree. Agreed. Same. Yeah, I never really had any issues with her. Ms. T says, I don't want to see Sheree again. She would need to have her own storyline to make it interesting. That's what I was saying. It's so funny. I love you, Candy Canes. Yes. Like, she never really had that much of a storyline. Yeah. Interesting again. Otherwise, she would just be a filler. I think what they need to do is, if they're going to bring Sheree back to be the bone collector person carrying things, they need to bring on someone else too that has a stronger storyline than just dating Prison Bae. Because unless Prison Bae is like completely Prince Charming, that's going to fall apart and blow up in our faces. So now I'm kind of okay with bringing her back, just within what context. And they need to bring somebody else on too as well. They just can't be Sheree coming back. Hey, Natalia. Natalia. Sheree should come back with Lisa Nicole, Kim Zolciak, Phaedra, and Claudia Jordan. They haven't even started filming, which means they're really seriously getting this show to number one. Yeah, they haven't started filming. Not everybody has their contracts back. I think they're really trying to make sure that they don't have another last season, which was so lackluster and just horrible. I don't want to see Kim back. I miss Phaedra, but just after what she said about Candy, I don't want to see her back. So yeah. XOXO at only positive depictions of Black love allowed. Exactly. That's the only thing I want to see, because if it comes out with any more stuff, it's just, I can't do it. It just doesn't sit well. Hey, Young Rich, I can't wait for Kenya's Prison Bae shade. We're gonna need like a lot, because she's coming with it. Like, she is. Hey, Kimberly, and the lip color is Kat Von D liquid color in Love. Oh, thank you. Well, you are wearing it. Yes. Hey, Miss T, is She by Sheree finally ready? You mean the joggers? Are the joggers ready? The joggers that are coming in spring, fall, winter? What was that thing? It was like, a fashion show with no fashions. How dreadful. We'll see. Wasn't Sheree just in what was it? Not Ghana, like Ghana or somewhere with Simon the scammer, allegedly. Hey, Sam Blanc. He goes, then they have dark-skinned daughters and project that into them, sadly. Yeah, do you mean Giselle and her kids? Yeah. And just to pivot for a second to Giselle and her daughters and Pastor Holy Whore. To me, what was so sad and so sickening, and what really showed to me that Giselle is a narcissist and she's a narcissistic mother, was when, and follow me on this. You guys know I love a good conspiracy narcissistic story, right? Follow me on this. So when Giselle made up the storyline that she was back with Pastor Holy Whore, which we all know was a made-up storyline. They were never really back together, and it was just for her to have a storyline, right? Because he was always saying on Instagram, I'm still single, and he was dating and sleeping with all these other women who came out, right? Anyway, but then when you saw that her daughters kind of had an attitude about it, and they were doing pushback, Giselle's response to me was sickening. She goes, yeah, and I'm paraphrasing here. She said something along the lines of like, yeah, like the girls are just so protective of me, and they've seen me be hurt, and they don't want me to be hurt again. So they're just really protective of their mom. And then everyone was saying like, oh, even the girls don't like him. The girls know better. And Giselle is doing this, blah, blah, blah. To me, that was so sickening and gross and narcissistic. You literally only think about how these things affect you, and that your daughters are resistant to this and have pushed back to this because they don't want you to be hurt by this scumbag. I'm sorry, sweetheart. You are their mother. Pastor Holy Whore is their father. Maybe the girls, the children, the only innocent people in this situation, maybe they are the ones who are actually hurting. Maybe their resistance is because they have a father who essentially cheated on their mother, went out here and is preaching all of this stuff from the Bible, all this stuff, saying one thing, but then he has multiple baby mamas and other children all across the country in all these other different congregations who are now their half siblings. How embarrassing is it for those girls? How hurtful is it for the children in this to have a father that treats them like they are props and that they are disposable, who doesn't come see about them, who doesn't come to the family portrait session or whatever the heck they were doing, lying and saying he was stuck somewhere, but he was like on FaceTime with them, which is a complete bogus lie. How do you think those girls feel? They're old enough to know that everyone calls their father Pastor Holy Whore, that everyone knows that he's out there having sex with this, that, and the third, that he has how many children out of wedlock. So he didn't just abandon you, Giselle. He abandoned his daughters as well. And maybe the reason why the daughters don't want him around is because they are in pain and they are hurting and they don't want their father to disappoint them one more time. But in your simple mind, Giselle, the only person you think about is yourself. Did you think, what consequence will this have on my children? How are my daughters going to feel about this? Bringing the dad back into life, taking them out, having a fake storyline, all of this stuff. Do you talk to them about their trauma? Because I'm telling you, it is probably very traumatizing to have the whole world call your father Pastor Holy Whore. It's probably very traumatizing to know that you have half siblings all over this country that you have never met and you do not know. It is probably very traumatizing to know that your dad cheated on your mother and had her go into a crazy house. Isn't that what happened, allegedly? He was dogging her out so much right before the wedding. Didn't she lose her mind and had to go to some like crazy house? It's probably very, very traumatizing for those girls. And the reason why they didn't want him around was because they didn't want him to hurt them. But you want to make it about you, Giselle. That to me was the moment I was like, I really don't have with you, Giselle, and you are so narcissistic and so disgusting. Because not at one point did you ever hear her say, I'm concerned about how this will affect my children. No, not once. The only time she's ever talked about her kids was when she thought that her daughter was saying that she didn't get enough mommy time and she was worried about not being the best mommy in their eyes. But yet you want to bring Tom, Dick, and Harry into their lives and out of their lives. You want to bring this man who abandoned you and them and is embarrassing across the world. Like, they have to go to school. These girls are old enough. They have to go to school. You don't think the kids at school are tearing them apart? Oh, your dad is Pastor Holy Whore? That to me, Giselle missed me with all of that. All of that. All right, let's see what you guys are saying, because I just went on my own little tangent. But I want to know how you guys are doing in the chat box. Hey, to be Black Native, Wendy has trouble receiving genuine love, especially in a read. Yes, I agree, 100%. Hey, and Rich, what do you think about the rumored newbies, Halani Labdel and McClure Mother? I have to do more research into them, which I will, and then I'll have a very clear opinion on them. Hey, Miss T, I heard Bravo doesn't want the Portia storyline at all. Yeah, I heard the same, at least for the Housewives. I heard at least for the Housewives, they don't want her storyline. I'm not sure if they want it for her wasn't she getting like a special, like a 4-episode special? So maybe after the special, right? But for the Real Housewives, no, they don't want it. And which I agree, because it was hard to watch. It was hard to watch. It was gross. Hey, CBCB, there's a level of nasty shade from Miss Tabitha, although well-deserved. It's okay to support your black man. Yes, I agree. Hey, Kamiko, that Portia Simon drama will be enough. No Claudia Jordan and no Kim Z. Yeah, definitely no Kim Z. I wouldn't mind so much Claudia Jordan, but yeah, no Kim Z. I agree with you. Hey, Miss T, DeWitt needs to come back as a friend. Yeah, as a friend. Hey, Young Rich, prison-based shade and stealing husbands. Low. They serving Kenya a paycheck she don't even have to work for. Yeah, but if you think about it, I agree, but Kenya was doing the most work. She really was. I mean, I don't agree with everything Kenya has said and done, but for this last season or two, she understood the assignment, and she came through. Hey, Miss T, Giselle just doesn't get it. Her kids never supported that BS. Exactly. They didn't support it because you have to think about it. That's still their father. And it still has to be so hurtful to know what he's doing and how he is. And that they literally just use as props. And if you go back and watch, the girls even said it. They said he calls, but we feel like he only calls. And then he's like, see, Giselle, I called. He's only calling for you and to like check a box. They don't really feel that love from him. And you can see it in their face and how they act towards him. Hey, Lala, Chanel, Atlanta Housewives probably has their hands full of Portia. She's doing a lot. She is doing the most. I can't wait to see how it all plays out, honestly. I think Portia's getting played. I think at the end of it, Portia is the one getting played the most. I think she thought she was doing the playing, but I think in the end, she's the one who's going to get played. Hey, Silly Glue, as much as I love Karen, I can't support Giselle, Robin, Candace, Wendy. They're below the belt trash. I'm not going to call anybody trash, but I agree. Giselle, Robin, Candace, and Wendy, I'm not really here for any of them. I also agree. I do love Karen. I love Karen. I love Ashley now. I feel like she's evolved. So I love Ashley now. Wendy O to me was too much of a pick-me. Candace to me is just too evil, simple-minded, and not emotionally developed enough. Robin to me needs to stand in her own and have her own opinion. And we've already talked about Giselle. Hey, P, 88 likes, 111 in the chat. Like this video. Yes, that's right. You guys, we have over 100 people in the chat. So if you're in here and you're liking it, please like this video. Let's get to over 100 likes. I love you guys. Thank you, P, for the support. Mwah. Hey, Natalia. She goes, the only way Robin can be saved is she stand up against Giselle. I agree. I think so too. I think that Robin can be saved, but she has to have a public and very clear breakup with Giselle. Like something needs to go down and Robin is just like against her and like really stands on her own. Hey, Paige's comment. She goes, hi, you look pretty. I love your hair. I love you. Aw, thank you. You look beautiful too, Paige. I love you too. You look gorgeous. Hey, Miss T, Giselle's clothes are clearly smarter than her. They have no time for his BS. Yeah, I mean, it's like that wisdom of children where it's like they don't have time for his BS. And I also think it's because it's a way for them to protect themselves. You know, I think it's a way, it's a defense mechanism. You know, I'm going to leave you before you leave me. I'm going to be standoffish. I'm not going to let you in. You know, I'm going to be dismissive of you before you can hurt me. And to me, it's really sad and really, really hard to watch. And I think that her daughters are actually, yeah, they come across as very smart and all that, but they're at the end of the day, they're still children. They're still little girls who probably really miss their daddy. And they're probably in a lot of pain because I can't imagine what it would be like to have a dad and a mom like this so publicly. So I think her kids are probably in a lot of pain. Hey, Tubi Black Native, Giselle's dad was priceless as the mic caught him talking later backstage. Yes, I agree 100%. He was like, why would I support that? What he did? Exactly. Hey, Natalia, love Giselle's dad, the way he stood up for his daughter. Agreed. I love the dad. And that's another thing. It's like, you have such a great father. Like, how did you turn, like, people are always like daddy issues. Like, what's going on, Giselle? Hey, Nene Ashley, no Kim. Agreed, no Kim. I would love to see Quad or Mariah, her Married to Medicine on RHOA. Yeah, but do they ever do that? Do they ever like, you know, swap? I don't know. Hey, Miss T, Giselle's father told the truth on his hot mic. Exactly. At Young Rich, not Candy, Rudy, and Giselle loud. Y'all, don't get me started. Don't even get me started. You know how I get. Hey, beautiful Yanni Rowe. I don't see a point of Denise coming back to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. What did she ever really give? Yeah, but I think that she was interesting to watch, though. And like the stuff with her husband, like what did he really do? All that like alternative cancer stuff. I think that there was more potential there that we didn't get to see. Hey, Young Rich, he goes, let me send this to Karen so she can play it at the reunion, LOL. Yes, do it. Send it to Karen. Send it to Karen and tell her Candy says hi. Miss T, yes, love Candy, sweet read. I know. I always get so passionate about stuff like that because I think of because that's like it sounds weird, but like that's the things I think about. I'm like, okay, Giselle, you're creating these storyline and doing all this stuff, but like, yeah, you're on a reality TV show, but it has real life repercussions for your children. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm weird, but like that's where my mind goes to this stuff. When she was just like the kids, they just were really protective of their mom. I'm like, but that's not how it's supposed to be. You're the adult. You're the mother. Why are you not protective of your children? It's supposed to be the other way around. You're the one that is supposed to have the discernment and say, is it safe emotionally, mentally, physically to bring this person into my child's life? Not the child being like, mommy, it's not safe to bring this person in your life. You know, it's so messed up. Hey, Siley Glue, preach, Giselle is absolute trash. She thinks it's just Karen talking about her fashions. No, the whole world is laughing at your fashion choices, Giselle. Yeah, Giselle cannot dress. Now, she is a fashion show with no fashions. How dreadful. She cannot dress to save her life. And I do think she gets by with like light-skinned girl bias, where it's just like you look at her and you think she's supposed to be beautiful, but like, I don't know. Yeah. Hey, J-Message, your stream is lit. Yes, we are lit. That's right. If it's lit in here, subscribe, support if you want. Hit that like button. It is lit. We are doing the damn thing. Hey, Yanni Rowe, I'm tired of Jill driving these little mediocre cars every season. I know. She drives like little toy cars, like little like toy like Tonka cars. It's bizarre. Hey, Sonia Jackson, I feel like these women are strategic. They are both getting a lot of publicity. Do you mean Wendy and Tabitha? Yeah, who knows? But with Wendy, I really think it's a tick. And Tabitha, I think, is capitalizing on an opportunity. Hey, Miss T, Robin has nothing to bring to the show at all until she gets a backbone. I agree. I don't even want to watch her next season unless she's actually speaking up. I'm tired of this fake Juan marriage situation going on. I'm tired of hearing about her taxes. I'm tired of hearing about her real estate. Like, I need something real to happen. Hey, Young Rich, am I the only one who thinks Mia from Potomac looks like a human version of Avatar, aka Demonica, LOL? Young Rich, I love you. I love my candy canes. I love you guys. You guys give me life. See, so much life. Okay. Hey, Annie Rowe, Robin needs to be a friend of. Exactly. If she can't even live in Montgomery County, the show isn't to see people live like me, LOL. I agree. That's exactly what I was saying. I agree 100%. XO does too. XO is laughing. I agree. I want to see opulence. I want to see some lifestyle that I aspire to have. No tea, no shade, but on a lot of these franchises, I live better than some of the women on the show. How is that possible? And I'm sure the majority of you in the chat box are the same. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like, what am I watching this for? On Bravo, Real Housewives. There is a audience for that. There is something to watch. Like, think about like the Jerry Springer Show or, you know, the Love and Hip Hops and all of that. There is an audience for it. And I put my hands up. I like to watch that stuff too. I'm not above it. Please. I love watching it. But it's also, I like watching it in its own context, not on a show that is supposed to be about luxury and opulence and ladies of leisure. And then you see these women who are struggling more than you are. That's a disconnect. And no tea, no shade, no brag or anything like that. That's a disconnect. Do you know what I mean? Like if I don't want to watch Super Soul Sunday with Oprah with somebody who could be on Jerry Springer. Do you know what I mean? If that makes any time, I don't know if that made sense, you guys, but you know what I'm saying. Hey, Miss T, Portia definitely is getting played 100% because it is. You guys need to go do a deep dive with your girl, Tisa Tells. She's another YouTuber. I don't want to ever get on her bad side because she really just broke down this man's whole entire life, finances, businesses. She went all the way in. And it really is appearing that he is nothing but a scammer, a con artist, allegedly. Hey, Darren Hood, Cynthia made an appearance on Married to Medicine last season. Yeah, so yeah, they do appearances, right? I believe, who else made appearances? What's her name? Didn't Jocelyn also make an appearance on Married to Medicine? Jocelyn made an appearance on Married to Medicine. So yes, they do appearances, but I mean like being an actual castmate. Like the way that they were saying like light skin Keisha was going to come be on. And it's just like, that's just bizarre and weird. I don't know if they do like Bravo shows being full-time cast members, but they definitely do appearances, especially within franchises. And especially on Married to Medicine, because they did that a lot with the Atlanta girls and the LA girls. Hey, Yanni Rowe. So I'd rather have LVP shady ass back and even Adrian. I love LVP. I am team LVP all day long. Hey, Kamiko. She goes, I like Denise Richards, though. I like Denise Richards, too. I wouldn't mind having her back. I think she had more to give if it wasn't for Snake Rinna. Hey, Young Rich, I still need to watch Married to Medicine from last night. Me too. I still need to watch Married to Medicine and Shaw's. So I'll catch up on them tonight. And we can talk about that stuff tomorrow. We can get into it. I had to catch up too. It was a long weekend. Hey, Miss T, Denise showed her real life until Brandy. Wish she would have handled that differently. I agree. I do wish she would have handled it differently. I'm on the fence on if that actually ever really happened. I might be the only person, but there's a part of me that I think Brandy was lying. I really, really do. I think Brandy was lying. I don't know why. I literally might be the only person who thinks that, but I don't believe Brandy. I don't think they hooked up. I think Brandy came to Denise's shoot set to record her podcast. I think that Brandy may have wanted something to happen, but I don't think Denise actually did anything with Brandy. Based on the text message exchange that Denise showed, I don't think anything really went down. Or Brandy may have tried and maybe it started and then Denise shut it down. But I don't think it happened. Maybe I'm being naive though. Hey, Miss T, Giselle thinks her eyes save her. It was also sad that Giselle decided to film her daughter's pain for money. Exactly. She did. And the thing is, I think Giselle is missing that empathy chip in her head. I don't think she even understands that her daughters are in pain. I think the only pain that Giselle ever experiences is her own because she's a narcissist. Hey, Silly Glue. I'm new and I'm loving your showing this chat. It's absolutely amazing. I love it. You've got a new subscriber. Oh, thank you. Yay. That's right, you guys. If you're in here, if you are a candy cane and you're loving it, subscribe and like and support if you want. I love you guys being in here. And yeah, I love talking to you guys. Like, to me, the way I want to do my show is this. Me chatting, you guys interacting, and just everybody. I want everyone to feel seen and heard. That's what I want. I want everyone to feel seen and heard. Hey, Yanni Rouge, because Giselle cabin looks like a Rubik's Cube. Not a damn Rubik's Cube. I love it. Hey, Young Rich, that's why we need you on Bravo. Yes. I mean, you know what? If Bravo came a knocking, your girl would answer. Your girl would answer. So let's manifest it. Hey, Kamiko, the first season of Real Housewives of OC and the first season of Raw showed opulence. Never mind the jail sentences. Yeah, that's true. Because they were supposed to be mirrored after Desperate Housewives, which was all about opulence. And these women, and it's true, they were showed opulence, but the jail sentences is a whole other thing. But to me, that goes down to And we've talked about this before, right? It goes down to production and their casting process. Like, how did you not know Teresa and Joe Giudice were scammers? How did you not know? And allegedly, Jen Shah was running this like pyramid Ponzi scheme on old people, and literally the feds were after her. Like, how did you not know, Tom and Erica Girardi? Like, how did you not know all of these things? It's like, and don't forget the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Remember what was her name? Taylor Armstrong, right? Her husband allegedly was scheming people and turned out to be flat broke. And then he ended up, unfortunately, taking his own life. Like, there needs to be more due diligence on casting and production, because right now it just seems like reality shows are breeding grounds for con artists and scammers, because it's happened across white shows, black shows. It's happened across all shows, really, where these people are not who they claim to be. Hey, Delicia, just make sure you have a great content and reviews. Aw, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Gal France, you are all still talking. Yes, girl. We've been on here for 1 hour and 45 minutes, and I still have some more chats to go through. So we're going to be on here for a little bit longer. Hey, Lala Chanel shows you were spot about Giselle and Robin puts me to sleep. Yeah, it's a snooze fest. And Giselle's only storyline is being evil and mean to other people. She got nothing going on in her life. Not in the slightest. Hey, Darren Hood. Yes, she did. Exactly. Hey, Young Rich, that makes sense, like a Super Soul Sunday with light-skinned Keisha. Like, we all, like, what the hell are we going to get from that? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like there's a time and a place for everything. There are shows for the ratchetness and like the broke and all that stuff. There's a show for that, but there's also this other show. Hey, Kamiko, Jocelyn came to start Ish. Yes, that's exactly what it was. Hey, Tubi, Married to Medicine took a break until July 11th. Ooh, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Hey, DGF627, it's the Candace read for me. Spot on. Exactly. Hey, Natalie. She goes, Claudia Jordan should come back with her clap back to Nene goes down in Real Housewives history book. And Tisa tells us my girl, and she has a beautiful heart. Yes, I agree. I like Claudia Jordan, and she really was one person that went toe to toe with Nene and never backed down, and could read her like for Phil back and forth. I love Tisa Tells too. She does have a beautiful heart. She's a great spirit. I like Tisa Tells. Hey, Miss T, Married to Medicine didn't come on last night. Okay. That's right. July 11th, it'll be back. Hey, Young Rich, Claudia would be great on Dallas since she lives there. They need to throw Dallas away. What do you guys think about the Real Housewives of Dallas? I didn't even watch the last season. I couldn't. Hey, Appy News. She goes, Portia has no idea what she's dealing with. This man is bad news. She's ignoring too many red flags, in my opinion. Appy, I agree 100%. I do think he is allegedly, in my opinion, a complete con artist and fraud. I think she's way in over her head, and I think that she's now trying to take the egg off of her face, but I think that it's going to get way worse before it gets better for her. And she's already damaged her reputation and her career, because in that situation between Simon, Portia, and Fallon, Portia was the only person who had something to lose. Fallon is now on digital magazine covers. She's coming out with her skincare line. She's fine. She's doing her thing. Simon is on the come up. He got new teeth. Now we know who he is. And Portia is out here just looking like not just a thought, but like this real super grimy. So Portia was the only one who had something to lose. And at this point, Portia is the only one who really lost. Hey, Yanni Rowe, Brandy will say anything to be on that show. Agreed. That's her history, just like Rinna, but she's just trashier. Yeah, like I don't know what it is, but I don't believe Brandy. And I think Rinna knows the truth and she's being shady. Hey, Kamiko, I don't believe Brandy Granville, but she witnessed something else. Denise allows her to spread that lie. Yeah, that's true. Maybe she does have something else, or there's something else going on, or Denise just didn't know how to do it. But didn't Denise send like cease and assist and all that stuff? Maybe she didn't handle it in the right way, but I just don't believe Brandy. I think she's lying. Hey, Yanni Rowe, Portia has shown us all that about red flags since we met her. Red means go, LOL. I know. Do you guys remember when she was dating, what was his name? Duke? Was his name Duke, the football player? And she threw that party where she was like, this is my trophy man. I was so cringe. It was so cringy. And like in my heart and soul, I was like dying and like cringing for her. It was so gross. Miss T, why not face Brandy even off camera? Don't run from it. I know. I just don't think she handled it in the right way, but I still don't believe Brandy. I wish Denise would have moved differently, but I think Brandy was lying. Hey, Daytime T, who the fuck disliked this video? Oh, it's okay. You know what? Like or dislike, it still helps my algorithm. So thank you for the boost. Hey, Delicia Dismuke, Ron is a pathological liar. Yeah, Ron's a pathological liar, and he has a tick. And he's the type of guy that I think would like spread a rumor about you. Like if you weren't into him, oh, you guys were talking about Ron from Ready to Love. Like if you are not into him, then he would probably spread a lie to try and tarnish and smear your name. Hey, Kamiko, she goes, at Slick Lou, look, Lou, welcome. Yeah, welcome to the candy cane. Welcome to the candy shop, you guys. Yes. Young Rich Ruby's cute. Oh, my Lord. Oh, I know. I was dying. I love y'all. I was dying. Hey, Sam Blanc, she said they don't want to see me hurt rather than they don't want to get hurt themselves by seeing this. Exactly. She made it all about her. My girls are so protective of me. They don't want me to be hurt. Well, why are you not protective of them? Why do you not want to see your girls hurt? Ridiculous. Sil Look Lou says Kamika Bulford. Thank you. Yes. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Get those likes up. Yes. Hey, Ms. T. She says, I think every woman on the show needs to be a housewife. I agree. Watch my last live. I was going in on this. I am ready for the Real Housewives to be the Real Housewives. I think the main cast all needs to be housewives. And then, sure, you can have friends of peripheral people, engaged, divorced, single, whatever. You can commingle, but I want a core group of housewives. That's what I want. Hey, Sam Blanc. She goes, it started as some more Desperate Housewives, Deps, and the moms from Laguna Beach show. They noticed how interesting the moms were while they were filming the teens. No, you know what it was? I think it was just a spinoff on Desperate Housewives and not the moms from the Laguna Beach show, because the Laguna Beach show was a spinoff of the show The OC. You remember The OC? It came out a long time ago. So The OC came out, and then the reality show of that was Laguna Beach. And then it was the Desperate Housewives, and the reality show of that was the Real Housewives. Hey, Yanni Rowe. Giselle doesn't seem to get social cues or people in general. An unevolved Virgo flaw. Yeah, she just seems really tone deaf and just, like, remember when she went off on, was it Monique she went off on? Or was it Ashley during Robin's open house? And thankfully Robin actually got into her because of that, but completely lacked self-awareness and realized that like this was not the time or place for it. Insane. Hey, Miss T, Bravo is definitely just out for the money they can make. Yeah, allegedly Bravo is struggling. So who knows what's even going on with the network in general. Hey, Sam Blank, those are the only rich, thirsty people enough to be on TV. So true. Hey, Silly Glue, I'm sick of those sacrificial lamb storylines. Agreed. We need some like real meat, some real juice, or something to aspire to. Hey, Natalia, she goes, are you going to watch Love Island USA? I might. I never really got into like those type of like almost like competition-y shows. Like I never watched Big Brother. I haven't watched Long Island. I have never watched Too Hot to Handle. Like those competition-y ones I've never really gotten into. But if you guys want me to, I can. Hey, Miss T, correct. Real rich people don't give a damn. Oh, don't have the time. Yes, you were right. Young Rich says, wait, Potomac is back on Sunday and Love and Marriage. Yeah, so July 11th, it's like hot. It's like Potomac is back and Love and Marriage. And those shows I have watched from the beginning, and I cannot wait to get into the nitty-gritty with you guys. I love those shows, and I have thoughts on all of those women. Hey, Miss T, Dallas needs a completely new cast. Please start over. Yeah, Dallas is a mess, a hot mess. Lala Chanel says Dallas is super boring. I agree. Natalia says 6 days left for RHOA. Exactly. I cannot wait. Hey, Natalia. Leanne should come back next season for Dallas. Some girls are getting fired. I hope Leanne comes back. I was pissed she was fired or had to leave in the first place. Like, maybe this is an unpopular opinion, but whatever. I didn't have a problem with when she said things about Mexican toward Carrie. Because Carrie was weaponizing being Mexican in a really weird, bizarre way when it came to Leanne. And I didn't, just on a gut level, I didn't think that Leanne was being racist when she was saying it. I think it was more of like, she always says this and this and this. And so she was more of like repeating it. So I took more offense to, and again, maybe I'm wrong. Check me if you don't agree with me, but let me know if you do. I took more offense to Brandy doing the Asian eyes and weird Asian, whatever she was doing with her children in that Instagram video that came out. I took more offense to that because to me, that was literally mocking a culture. Whereas with me, the whole Leanne and Carrie Mexican thing, I was like, miss me with this. You're reaching, Carrie. You're reaching, sweetheart. Hey, Silly Glue. She was Wendy is a piece of work. Yes, she had so much to say about Monique last year, but was threatening to rough up Giselle for bringing up the cheating rumors. Exactly. That's what I said before. It's like, Wendy, I have no sympathy for you, sweetheart. You had no problem being complicit in gossip and rumors and all this stuff and in the demise of another woman's marriage. Because we all know that they were all talking about saying that Monique was allegedly cheating with the trainer, that she had the A word with her with an unborn baby, and that her son wasn't even Chris's son. So you had no problem being complicit in that when you thought you were a part of the Green-Eyed Bandits, when you thought you were a part of the Cool Girls. But now that your marriage is on the chopping block, now that your business is out there for Front Street, and your so-called friends not only don't have your back, but they're the ones who are actually perpetuating the rumor. Now you want to cry victim? Sorry. Karma worked fast. Hey, Miss T, Portia love life is like a never-ending story. It just goes on and on. So true. Hey, Miles, welcome. My Miles Kidman. There's no reason why Dallas would have no black women and Mexican women. Dallas have a ton of old and new money here from minorities and should not be majority white women, not the representation of Dallas. I agree. Bring some diversity on. 100%. 100%. Hey, Natalia. I was going to say Natalie and then I go Natalia. Y'all bear with me. I love you guys. All of you. The only way Robin can be saved is she stands up against Giselle. Exactly. I want them to have like a big confrontation, like a big come to Jesus moment between the two of them. Hey, Miles, most of the women don't even live in Dallas. I know. It's like the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. They live in like Encino, right? Hey, Happy News, Desperate Housewives / The Hills. Well, I think The Hills was a spinoff of Laguna Beach. So it was the OC was the fictional TV series, which became the reality show, the OC. And then Laguna Beach. So the OC was the fictional TV show, which became the reality TV show called Laguna Beach with like Spencer and Lauren Conrad and Heidi and Audrina. The Hills was a spinoff of Laguna Beach. And that was The Hills with like the Ladrina and Spencer, all that stuff. Laguna Beach was with Steven, Lauren Conrad, Kristen Cavallari, and all that. So The Hills was a spinoff of Laguna Beach. And Laguna Beach was a ripoff of the OC. Yes. Hey, Natalia. She goes, I thought also housewives were just like their actual housewives, no jobs. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't mind seeing the housewives have like a cute side job, right? Where they're like, this is my jewelry line, or, you know, I'm just making these caftans, or I just knit and these, whatever, like, you know, whatever it is, like, that's cute and fun. But I want to see women who really are like ladies of leisure, and they're not like, I need this business or bust. Hey, Young Rich, I thought it was a mock, like a dig at the Desperate Housewives, like we are the real housewives. Well, I don't think it was, okay, I don't think it was a mock. I think it was not even a ripoff. I said ripoff, but that's not, ripoff to me sounds negative. I think it was just a take in the reality world of Desperate Housewives, because the Real Housewives is just a spin-off of Desperate Housewives. And by real, I think the reason why they said real was because it's a reality show, and Desperate Housewives was scripted. But the essence was supposed to be the same. So on Desperate Housewives, you saw these women who were, you know, rich and opulent, blah, 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 blah. And then on the side, it was also about, like, I believe it was like the maids. I think, I never really watched it. It was before my time, but I think it was like the maids, right? Who had like scandalous lives or whatever, but it was based off of the rich people in it. And so then the Real Housewives was supposed to be the reality version of it, the reality version of it, of how the other half lives, you know, behind the gates and stuff like that. So yeah. Hey, Miles Kidman, it was Monique. Yeah, so it was Monique that she went after. And I think, wasn't Monique pregnant when she went after her? It was insane. Hey, Young Rich, my ex was on Love Island the day after we broke it off. Oh, hell no. I'm so sorry. Who was it? DM me. Let me know who it was, or tell us in the chat. Hey, Miss T, the inspiration was definitely Desperate Housewives. Yeah, showed housewives that had drama too, but not so perfect. Exactly. Yeah, it was Desperate Housewives. Hey, Takia Warren, Love and Marriage come on July 17th. Do you so you can do a follow-up on Family or Fiance? I've never watched Family or Fiance, so I'm not sure. But I will definitely be watching Love and Marriage. 100%. Hey, Darren Higgles, I loved Leanne. Me too. I love Leanne. She needs to come back. I wouldn't mind having her back. I thought she was wacky, but like I didn't think her statements were problematic. I thought Carrie was reaching with that. Hey, Yanni Rowe, calling her a chirpy Mexican repeatedly in a derogatory way was very low. I don't like Carrie either. They only brought her back to not look bad. She was boring. I agree. I think her calling her a chirpy Mexican, but like, again, maybe I'm being naive, and check me if you think I'm wrong, but I don't think Leanne was coming from a racist place. And I will call people on it if I think they're being racist or colorist or sexist or homophobic or whatever. But it's on a gut level. I didn't take Leanne's comments as racist. I just really took her more as just the shade and not liking Carrie and using what Carrie said about her. I don't know. I think that what she said was in poor taste? Yes. Do I agree with calling people by their ethnicity? No. So yeah. Hey, Silly Glue, I agree with you. Leanne was just repeating what Carrie was saying about herself. Exactly. Carrie was saying it all the time. She was like, she was literally repeating what she was saying on repeat. And then how Carrie would be like, well, you can't say anything to me. I'm Mexican. It was not my favorite. She was weaponizing it in her own way. It was weird. Hey, Misty, Leanne need to be taught about what she said and how it was wrong. Bravo missed the moment. Yeah, I agree. I think it could have been a much better teachable moment to explain to not just Leanne, but to everyone watching why what she said could be derogatory or offensive, even if that was not the intentionality behind it. And I think that is what gets lost sometimes, where it's this like gut knee-jerk reaction to what the person said without giving clarity of your intentions may not be aligned with the way this is received. And the reason why you lack the awareness of how this is received because of X, Y, and Z, because of Mexican people's plight in this country, because of the Black plight, because of this, and this. So you're creating awareness and you're educating in a way where people can understand why what they're saying or doing can be offensive. So yeah, I agree with you. Hey, Miss T, somebody should have told Wendy the second season is always the hardest. Somebody should have told Wendy to like a lot of things. I'm not a big Wendy O fan. And didn't she like get like, and they all do it and it's fine and everybody's body is their own, but didn't she get like a nose job and a boob job and she like lost a ton of weight this season? And there was speculation that she was like bleaching her skin, which I really hope is not true. Like, get your boobs done, get the lipo sucked out, do you? But like, I draw the line at bleaching skin. I think that just to me is disgusting and just really, really sad. So I really hope that is not true. You know, do you, if you want to do the Botox and all that stuff, do it. But just bleaching the skin to me is off limits. Hey, DGF627. The thing about Claudia is that she was acting as Kenya's attack dog. Ooh, she and Needy had no relevance for each other. Needy clapped back in response to the attempted takedown. Thumbs down to Claudia. Ooh, thumbs down to Claudia Jordan. Hey, Natalia, I thought The Hills came out first. The Hills came out first in relationship to what? Laguna Beach. I don't know if Laguna Beach or The Real Housewives of OC came out first, but Laguna Beach is the first show that The Hills was spun off from, because Laguna Beach was all of the kids in high school, because it was a spinoff of the OC. So Laguna Beach was Lauren Conrad, Lo Bosworth, Kristen Cavallari, that guy Steven. It was all of them in high school was Laguna Beach. And then The Hills was when Lauren moved to LA. So it's supposed to be like the Hollywood Hills. That's why it's called The Hills. So that's when it followed Lauren moving to LA. She went to fashion school. She got her apartment. And then that's when it was like Brody and Spencer and Adrena and Heidi and Whitney Port and all those people. And then as the seasons went on, then Kristen Cavallari came back and all that stuff. So Laguna Beach was the jump off of The Hills. And that's just like chronological order, because Laguna Beach was them in high school. The Hills was them in college, early 20s. Hey, Young Rich. So a show full of Toya Bush Harrises. No, there are women who have leisure who have very differing personalities and very different setups, right? Like Kathy Hilton is a woman of leisure and she is very different than Toya Bush, right? So you have women of leisure who have very different personalities and have a lot of different things going on. Young Rich. Hey, Annie wrote, not a show full of toys and two childs. I love you, Candy Games. Not two childs. Y'all send me with that. Not two childs. Oh, thank you. Thank you, B, for the super sticker. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support. Yes. Let's see what you guys are saying. Thank you, B. I appreciate the super sticker, sweetheart. Sam Black says, the original concept was supposed to show rich women who get Botox and go to spa day. Exactly. Put the kids up at soccer practice, drinking wine, having an affair with a pool boy. Exactly, Sam. Yes, you are exactly right. Hey, Sasha T. I hope they don't take too long to introduce Mia. I wanted to see her first episode, how she blends in. Me too. I'm ready for the shits. I am so ready. Hey, Natalia, are you going to watch Love Island USA? Oh, we went over that. I don't watch it. Hey, Tubi Native. Devious Maids came later after Desperate Housewives, mostly Tina Cass and Eva Longoria as EP. Oh, okay. Thank you. Because I was like, wait a minute. Is there like that's what I was thinking of, because Desperate Housewives and Devious Maid was like before my time. So I'm trying to like remember what I've heard and seen. So thank you, Tubi. Yes, you're right. Thank you. That is correct. Hey, Natalia. Wendy ganging up on Monique decided to be a follower and now they attacked her karma. Yes, 100%. Hey, Miss T, it's funny Bravo was quick to come and make clarity when it happened to Kenya's statements about her costume. I think that's because they can't afford to get rid of her. Yeah, they can't afford to get rid of her. And it also just shows you, again, the double standards. You know, I mean, I hate to take it about race, but when Black castmates do something, it gets always blown out of proportion and blown up and all these things. I'm not conflating the things. I'm not saying that what Kenya did wasn't wrong and that it shouldn't have been addressed. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, in general, a lot of times what happens with the Black castmates gets a light shown. Bravo does not condone violence. Really, Bravo? Because didn't Teresa throw tables at people? Didn't Brandy smack people? Like, I'm like, on Vanderpump Rules, wasn't, Stassi backhanding people the whole, like, you don't condone violence on which shows and for who, So, again, I agree. They should have come out with the Kenya statements, but it's also more indicative of who they choose to put on blast and who they choose not to. So I agree. Hey, Silly Glue. She goes, Wendy thought she could be one of the cool girls and how quickly they turned on her this season. Yeah, Wendy got it twisted. Like, don't forget, Wendy, this is a job. These girls are not your friends. And Karen actually quickly realized that, which is why she doesn't mess with Giselle now. I think Karen thought she did have a friend in Giselle, but when Giselle had the pizza with Robin sent to her house, when Giselle showed up at that what was it, that group meeting they had to talk about Ray, and Karen was trying to like put the whole taxes to bed, and how she had that t-shirt made and was just so disrespectful and was like, oh, you want to walk out? Let's walk out. And had like the t-shirt was so disrespectful. And I think Karen saw that as a betrayal. And so Karen, ever since then, Karen was just like, okay, I see you. Hey, 2B, Desperate Housewives was mostly white women getting into ish because of the time on their hands. Yes, Vanessa Williams was added last season because ratings started to drop. Yes, thank you, 2B. Yes, you guys, that's right. Thank you, 2B, for that. Hey, DGF627, mixing Devious Maids with Desperate Housewives. Yes, I was. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for helping me. I appreciate you. Okay, Young Rich, Laguna was out 05. I remember the commercial on my old DVD as a child, and OC was 2007. Okay, so then maybe the OC was a rip on Laguna, but those two to me piggyback off of each other. But The Hills is definitely a spinoff of Laguna. Hey, Miss T, wasn't it a big thing when people found out The Hills were scripted? Yeah, it was this huge, huge deal. I mean, basically what they call it is scripted reality. That's really what they call it. So basically what it is, the producers will have their own preconceived notions of how they want it to go, and they will kind of feed you things. So they'll feed you lines, they'll feed you storylines, they'll feed you all of that stuff. But it basically turned out that at the end it was all scripted. Yeah, that was a big deal. Hey, Sasha T, this just proves that respectable Black women role model thing Wendy was pushing last season is BS. She and Candace look like they fight in this season. Exactly. This whole like, oh, well, we have to represent all Black culture. No, you don't, boo-boo. I am a Black woman and you don't represent me. We as Black women are not monolithic. We can enjoy other Black women as entertainment on TV without it being a commentary on all Black womanness. Do you have an inherent responsibility in general? Yes, of course. But everything you do is not a representation of Black women in the Black experience. Because white people don't look at it that way. Like the women on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is not thinking, I have a duty to show up for all white women. No, they don't. They show up as themselves and they do what they need to do to pick up their checks. So we need to afford Black women the same level of humanity and authenticity and autonomy. So Wendy Osefo, you can miss me with all that. Hey, Misty Me is going to bring it. I can't wait. And she's beautiful too. From the pictures I saw, if I'm remembering correctly, she's gorgeous. Hey, Natalia, they should bring Mariah back. Agree. And fire Jackie. Agree. After rushing to Buffy with that whack-ass apology. Agree. Yeah, I agree on all points. 100%. Hey, at Yanni wrote, New York and New Jersey cast are ghetto as hell. Exactly. When did they didn't go to New York being like, we do not condone alcohol abuse. We do not condone blah, 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 blah. All of this stuff. Please, they go at it all the time. They're naked all the time. They are wasted all the time. They're sleeping with each other's men all the time. I mean, it's a good key, but we need to keep everything in context. It's a reality show. It's for entertainment. It's not a commentary on everybody else in the world. Like, can we just breathe and have fun for a minute without everything being derivative from that? Hey, Miss T, I think Dorinda needs to come back. Me too. I miss Dorinda so much. How you doing? Not well, B. I miss Dorinda. I miss Dorinda so much. Hey, Natalia, Mariah is the EP of the show. Yes, she is. It was her show. She brought that idea to Bravo. Yes, she did. And I hope everything, I'm sending her blessings to her case. Hey, April Powell. Hey, what do you think of Erica Jane? Do you think she really feels sorry for the victims? No. Allegedly, my opinion, Erica Jane was completely in on it. She knew exactly what her husband was doing. She not only was complicit, but she helped him. I think she was helping him funnel and wash money and try and like clean up the money trail through her shell company of her, like Erica Jane, whatever it was, her company, her entertainment company, and her glam squad, you know, saying she spent $40K a month. Did she really, or was that their way of cooking the books? Do you know what I mean? And then she's not giving back any of the so-called gifts. She's not giving any of her bank statements or tax returns. She's not helping the victims at all. I think the only person Erica Jane feels sorry for is herself. And to me, she's disgusting. And I need Bravo to fire her ASAP because it's hard to watch Beverly Hills at this point. Hey, Young Rich, New York is a bunch of drunks except Ebony. Speak on it. Speak on it. And to me, Luann, with her fake self calling Ebony angry, where was this energy when Bethany read you for filth? I mean, filth in the Berkshires. Called you anything but a child of God. And you just cried and went away and wilted. Did you call Bethany angry? No. But you wanted to call Ebony angry simply because she said that she had more education than you, which she factually does. Miss me, Lou. Hey, Miss Two. Giselle has made it a job. Yeah, Giselle is like Kenya. She understands the assignment 100%. Hey, Sheila Mack. Giselle is only friends with Robin. Yeah, and she's only friends with Robin because she knows that she can control Robin. You know? If Robin had a mind of her own, I don't think she'd be friends with her either. Hey, April Powell, does she really feel sorry for the victim, or is she trying to get stolen money to furnish her lifestyle? She's trying to keep and still get more stolen money to furnish her lifestyle. 100%. 100%. Hey, Natalia, I was 4 in 05. Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you. That's why I was just like, I don't know. Before my time, too. Hey, Sasha T, she's not even Robin's friend. Agreed, she's not Robin's friend. She uses Robin because Robin lets her be her puppet. Basically, Robin is her puppet, basically. Sheila Mack, she pretends like she is Robin's friend. LOL. Yeah, she's also friends with Robin because she thinks she's doing better than Robin. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think that if she thought Robin was doing better than her, then she wouldn't be friends with her because that's the type of person she is. Hey, Sakithia Wilder, just wanted you to know, nosy hose, I just crazy as Monica. She didn't respect her audience and help her. Oh, no. Thank you for letting me know, sweetheart. Natalia, 2000 show where everything nostalgia. Woo-woo. Hey, Sheila Mack, first of all, we are human beings. Yes, exactly. We are human beings. We are. And we should be afforded to experience all of humanity. Hey, Ms. T, bleaching is sadly highly expected in Wendy's culture. Ooh. Yeah, miss me with that bleaching. No way. Hey, Young Rich. Don't mess with Auntie Dr. Jackie. LOL. Ms. T, did anybody see Jackie's commercial in the middle of the reunion? No. What was the commercial? Hey, Silic Lou, I see right through Erica's BS. If she didn't know about the victims, then, well, she does know about them now. Exactly. And if she doesn't care about the victims now, she didn't care about the victims then. Yeah, because she could do things to help now, and she doesn't. Hey, Juanita. She goes, I miss Dorinda too. Me too. I miss her. Hey, Miss T. Mariah is definitely the definition of how to handle suing Bravo correctly. Agreed. She moved in silence, and she kept it classy. 100%. Hey, Natalia. Andy favored Bethany. Imagine Nene versus Bethany. Ooh, that would be a showdown of showdowns. And he did favor Bethany. And he still kisses Bethany's butt, even though she's quit on him like 2 or 3 times and trashes Bravo every time she can. Hey, Kamisha Reviews. She goes, hey, hello. I hope y'all catch the exclusive interview Stacey and Ida after the reunion Sunday. Okay. Hey, Kamisha Reviews. I'm always in the chat. Hello, queens and kings. Hey, girl. Hey, hey, hey. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you for coming, sweetheart. Sasha T. Wendy's mom bleaches her skin. You can tell, but that's a thing in African culture. Oh, I hope not. That hurts my heart. Hey, so like Lou, can you understand the assignment? Exactly, but she knows how not to cross the line or go below the belt, unlike Giselle. I agree. I mean, I don't agree with everything Kenya has done, but to me, there is a slight difference in energy between Kenya and Giselle to me is just disgusting. Hey, Miss T, I do wish Ebony would have more fun. I know she's tired of teaching ladies every episode. Agreed. It's like, I feel like, Ebony, you've made your case. We thank you. Now, loosen up. You know what I mean? Take a couple shots, have some champers, whatever you need to do. Loosen up. I want to see her dating. I want to see her having fun. I want to see her laughing. I want to see her black girl magic and in a joyful way. Like, let your, like, stop, like, don't tell me, show me. Is that's what it's saying? Like, don't tell, show? Like, you're telling me all of these things about black excellence. No, show it to me. Have fun. Let your joy, let your happiness, let your light be its own reflection of it. I agree. She's having some fun right now. Hey, Juanita. She goes, Erica knows where the coin is, and she's mad because it's in the open. I agree 100%. Erica definitely knew. You guys, we have been on here for 2 hours and 20 minutes. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe and comment and support. I'm going to stay on for a little bit longer and then I have to go. But I love you guys and this has been so much fun. Yes, yes, yes. Hey, Sam Blank says they're bringing on a friend for Robin because she's so boring, but probably to also cause a rift between her and Giselle. I hope so. Miss T, correct. Giselle definitely sees Robin as her purse holder. 100%. Hey, Sam Block, I know a girl who sells $500 wigs, but it's a cover up for a scammer stuff. Oop. Wow, yeah. Hey, Kamisha Review. She goes, always have fun in the chat. Yes. I mean, my candy canes, the chat is lit. The chat is lit. It's off the chain. We have fun. And one thing I will say, you guys are so lovely and you're so respectful and you're so smart and funny. I love you guys. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Hey, Young Rich. Dr. Mo Money Jackie has a skincare line that played during the reunion. Oh, God. That is some BBS. BBS. Oh, my God, Dr. Jackie. You need to give all proceeds to Buffy. Okay. Hey, Natalia. Robin should stand up against Giselle. She almost got fired. If Monique didn't quit, Robin would have been gone. Agreed 100%. She needs to stand up, and maybe she will with Mia this time. Miss T, the commercials for Jackie's skincare line and stuff. Ew, no. I'm sorry, but I wouldn't buy skincare from Dr. Jackie. I wouldn't. Hey, Miles Kidman, what do you think about Bad Girls Club coming back? I never got into Bad Girls Club. So I don't know. I never really got into that. I'll have to look into it. Natalia, Robin and Giselle's handbags. Exactly. Ms. D, Ebony needs to let her black girl magic shine. Exactly. Let your light be your protest. Let your joy, speak for itself. Show these women what it is like to be a fully realized black woman standing in her essence and in her excellence. No more history lessons. No more place cards about links and U's. Embody it. And Miss Bershawn, I'll be watching out for her, but I didn't like her pick me. I didn't like her pick me attitude. Yes, I agree. Ebony was a bit of a bore and she kind of needed to liven it up. But when you are the only two black girls in that situation, you don't have to be best friends. You don't have to kiss each other's butt, but you do need a level of solidarity there. And you don't throw each other under the bus in order to, shuck and jive for the other women that are there. So to me, Bershawn just really rubbed me the wrong way. Personally, if I had been in that room, I probably would have said something, and I wouldn't really have. I would have spoken up, because to me it's more hurtful when another black woman puts down another black woman in order to be the chosen one from the white people. To me, that's more hurtful than a white person being racist. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but to me, it hits different when it's your own sister, another Black woman doing it to you. And that, to me, that's exactly what Brashan was doing. She was just like, pick me, pick me, pick me. I want to be the one. And to me, that was just gross. Hey, Yanni Roaches, how realistic is it for Ebony to do that with no other Black women there? Couldn't be me. Brashan was there, and she was a Black woman. So, yeah. So, let's see. Kamiko says, bye, Candy, the Candy Cans. Bye, sweetheart. Yes, we are going to wrap it up in a little bit. Hey, Sephora has a clone. Ebony would piss me off if I was on the show. No one asked her to teach these white men about Black culture. Nobody likes a know-it-all. I mean, I agree. I think she's done it. She showed it. Now we need to see her as a person show up. I agree 100%. Hi, Miles. When's the next live? Tomorrow, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm in LA, so tomorrow, 3 p.m. West Coast will be the next live. Yes. And hit that notification bell so you'll get alerted anytime we go live. Excuse me. And like and follow and subscribe. Hey, Natalia. Did they drag Dorit financial issues like they dragged Denise for allegedly sleeping with Brandy? No. They covered that all the way up. Exactly. They covered it all the way up because they have an alliance. Hey, Miss T, it's very crazy that Bravo didn't know anything about Jen. Thank you. Literally the second season, she's getting arrested by the feds on camera, and Bravo was like clueless. Do your due diligence. Like, who are you having on your shows? Like, what else are you missing about these people? Hey, April Powell, what do you think about Tabitha Brown and Wendy Hader comment on retiring her husband? I see that she needs him more with her and her newfound stardom, like her bodyguard and protector. Yeah, you're going to have to go back and watch the beginning of the replay. We got into it. We talked about it for about 45 minutes. But just quickly, Team Tabitha on this. You're allowed to grow and have interdependent relationships, and it may look different to other people. I think Wendy was just hating out of her own wound and out of her own brokenness. So yeah, but go back and watch the replay because we talked about it for like 45 minutes, girl, and it was juicy. It was good. Hey, Young Rich, LaToya would be great for Bad Girls Club, then leave RHOA alone. Glad we found her something. That's good casting. You should be in production. Hey, Slick Lou, Bravo only keeps Robin around because they know Giselle can't stand on her own and would be made a fool of otherwise. Yeah, and Giselle is definitely like their favorite. Hey, Miss T, correct. Black women should stick together. I was really disappointed. Me too. I was super disappointed. You don't got to be best friends, but like when you're the only two, you stand together. You have a sense of solidarity. Just what she did to me was just really, really nasty. And then she doubled down on it on the Wendy Williams show. And to me, that was also very, very nasty. Hey, Sam Blank. She goes, in season 2, Giselle made a gross comment like, my mom always told me don't stand in the sun too long to keep my skin nice. Ugh. Hope she meant wrinkles and not dark. Hey, Sephora has a clone. Yeah, Brashan was doing too much. Yeah, she was doing too much, and she had that pick-me energy, and it was gross. Hey, Miss T, I think Ramona just brought a Black friend to help keep the heat off of her and then left her like a bad habit, basically. I think Sonia was right that Ramona was just doing these sort of like performative stunts with Black people. Hey, Natalia, the only issue with Ebony and Ramona saying she's white fragility is killing her. But why didn't they get angry when Leah called their hoes? Exactly. Maybe because the education came off as condescending. Well, with that, to me, the difference is white fragility is actually like a, I don't even know what to call it. Not like philosophical term, but it's a true concept, which Ramona was displaying. So to me, when Ebony said white fragility, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't a racist like dig, like, oh, you white this or that. She was like, oh, this is your white fragility, because white fragility is a true concept. There are books and studies on it. It's a true social, psychological concept versus the angry black woman, which is what Lou was alluding to, is an actual dig. Yes, that is also a societal concept and trope of what an angry black woman is. But when you call a black woman angry, it's a different connotation than talking about somebody's white fragility, if that makes any sense. So no, I agree with you. And that, or the issue was with Ebony and Ramona saying she's white fragility is killing her. But why didn't they get angry? Exactly. They didn't call Leah angry, and she called them hoes and was screaming and yelling all over the place. And then education came as condescending. I think it came off as condescending because they feel insecure around her because they don't have the highest of educations and all of that. So I think they were feeling their own insecurity. Hey, Latanya Alexander says, bless you. Mwah, bless you too, sweetheart. Yes. Young Witch says, bless you. Yes, bless you too. Oh, no, because I sneezed. Thank you, guys. Hey, Tanya Manning, bless you. Thank y'all. I take the blessing and I give it back to you. Absolutely, yes. Hey, Natalia says, bye, Candy Washington. Bye, sweetheart. That's right, you guys. We've been on here for 2 hours and a half. I'm about to get out of here. Yes. DGF 627 old black power show and prove exactly. Hey, Jessica Hardy says, hey, Candy Carol, just subscribe to your channel. Keep up the good work. Thank you, sweetheart. I will. Yes. To be my black coworker was mean to me when I was on the job in Cali all the time. I know what you were saying. First of all, I am so sorry that your black coworker was mean to you. And yes, let me tell you, sometimes it does. It cuts deeper when it's your own putting you down that way. It cuts deeper. I'm so sorry that they did that to you, black native. But karma's a bee, and you are amazing. So you keep shining, and she'll get hers. Hey, Latanya Alexander, she goes, me too. Yes. Hey, Sephora has a clone. I'm starting to think Bravo hires criminals on the low just for it to be all blow up on TV. How can they get it wrong so many times? Ms. T, Ebony did try with Ramona when she mentioned the female vice president. Ramona couldn't do it because she clearly didn't vote for her. Yeah. I think Ramona is scared to admit that she's a Trumper. But it's so clear Ramona is a Trump person. Young Ritz laughing my ass off. I know. Young Ritz says, bye. Yes, bye. Miss T, Heather also did the most of the white lady trying to be extra down. Yeah, but I do think it was from a good place. I really do. I really do. Okay, you guys, we are going to wrap it up. 2B says, we love you. Bless you. Thank you, sweetheart. Yes. Okay, everyone. Wow, we've been on here for 2 hours. If you're here, if you like the good Kiki, don't forget to subscribe and like and comment and share this. And we will be back tomorrow, 3:00 West Coast time. So hit that notification bell so you won't miss it when we go live. Until next time, I love you guys. I love you guys so much. Mwah. Good night and goodbye, my candy canes. I will see you tomorrow. Be well and take care of yourself and each other. Bye, guys.